final meeting of the regular season for these QEW rivals, and both teams have plenty to play for. The Argos needing a win to keep those playoff hopes alive, while the Ticats would like nothing more than to knock the defending champs from postseason contention. With the Alouettes right in the rearview mirror in the standings, the pressure is on for Bo Levi Mitchell and the Ticats, who are looking to bounce back from that 37-point loss last week. While on the other side of things, it's do or die time for the Toronto Argos. Nick Arbuckle has put up big numbers on the Ticats this season, needing another strong performance here today. And what a pair of games we have on tap here today. Coming up, it's the second game of our doubleheader and the battle for second place between the Stamps and the Lions. But right now, it's all about the Argos and the Ticats. Thanks for joining us, Laura Dykin, Enoch Mwamba, Paul LaPolice, Milt Stiegel. It is a full house, and we know what is on the line here for both of these teams. So, Paul, let's start with you. When it comes to the Ticats, we know what happened last week. What's your concern level, 1 to 10, for this Hamilton team? 1 being very, and 10 being, nah, they're fine.
All right, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to give 1 is very concerned.
Very.
Oh, I'm not very concerned. So I'm going to go, like, I'll say 8.6 or 7. 8, 6, 6, 7.
Oh, my God.
There's 6, 7. Now, defensively, we got a defense first in the CFL in takeaways. We've got the best defense versus the pass. First in the CFL in turnover margin as a team. You got Bo Levi Mitchell, leading TD scorer, and you got Greg Bell. Those things add up to a very good football team.
So you say 1 is...
Very concerned.
I'm going minus 50-11. 50-11 is a word we use down in Atlanta. And the reason is DAIB. Davis Alexander is back, baby.
Yeah,
the Tank Top Band is back with the Montreal Alouettes, and what he's done for that team. If I'm Hamilton Tiger-Cats, I'm scared. They need to win out if they want to win this East.
I'm going to go with the 6-7 as well.
Hey,
6-7, though.
6-7.
Not that concerned. I think that they have a good enough offense. And yes, you look at the last 4 games, Bo Levi hasn't hit more than 300 yards, and he's done it 9 times this year. And even Kenny Lawler hasn't hit 100 yards in the last 4 games. So that's the only concern that I would look at. But I think that's something that they'll figure out for sure.
Okay, I think we covered it all here. 6-7, 6-7.
6-7's worth of it, huh?
All right, we'll talk about a royalty trio on hand at BMO Field today. How about Doug Flutie, Jim Kelly, Pinball Clemens, a meeting of the minds.
Awesome.
We've got kickoff from Toronto. A beautiful day when we come back.
KFC's $12 meal for 2. 2 pieces of original recipe, get 2. Popcorn chicken, make it 2. And fries, get 2, too. The $12 meal for 2, a finger-licking good deal. Only at KFC.
Practice starts in 20. Let's get it. T-Mac.
Who shaves for practice?
My game face doesn't take days off with Gillette Labs. Its green bar releases trapped hairs, so you can get virtually every hair in a single stroke.
That's smooth.
The best your game can get is Gillette Labs.
Sponge towels. Nothing absorbs like it.
With Prime Big Deal Days coming October 7th through the 10th, greatness is a deal away.
Just bust the move.
Shop deals from home to electronics this Prime Big Deal Days.
Just a truck? Sure, and hockey's just a game. Ram's not built for just. It's built to win. It's built to race. It's built to last. So is Ram just a truck? Yeah, the same way Canada is just a country. Ram Power Days are here. Get 0% financing for 72 months on both the 2025 Ram 1500 and Ram 2500.
You know those times when you're not drinking, but you really fancy a lovely, cold, smooth Guinness? Well, guess what? Guinness Zero. We've taken the alcohol out, but left the Guinness in.
Here's to the morning routiners, the itinerary printers, the perpetually early, you know, the squares. When life gets bumpy, who fits better in your corner than a square? Consistently good, squares make the world go round. That's why the shreddy squares in your bowl celebrate the square in you.
Hello to your cell phone. How can I help?
Adults, I need somebody, not just anybody. Won't you please, 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 please help me?
With Tim's NHL hockey cards, every pack tells a story.
So, I heard a rumor you write apology letters to goalies when they retire. Are you kidding me? Well, I heard you want to be a pro ping pong player before deciding on hockey. I don't know what you're talking about.
Coming soon, only at Tim's.
Georgina Perosny of Edmonton, this is your chance to win big thanks to Save on Foods' $1 Million Touchdown to Win. If a kickoff is returned for a TD, you could win groceries for a year. If 2 are returned, you could also win $1 million. Good luck to you, Georgina. Big sports day in the city of Toronto as we turn it over to Marshall Ferguson and Dwayne Ford.
Thank you, Laura, and welcome to Toronto, everyone. 25 degrees, feels like 28 here on October the 4th, and the heat is certainly on the double blue as they need to win out in order to get into the playoffs. Of course, the Hamilton Tiger Cats, they already know they're going to the dance. As Marshall Ferguson, Dwayne Ford, Matthew Shandy here for you throughout the afternoon, and Bo Levi Mitchell has just been shredding the Argonauts throughout this season in the 2 matchups, but he really wishes he was still undefeated on Labor Day, right?
Yeah, no question. Tough loss for the Tiger Cats in that one. Let it get away at the end after a big comeback. But nonetheless, Bo Levi Mitchell enjoying a terrific season throwing the football, as is his one-time Calgary Stampeder understudy, Nick Arbuckle. 2 of the top passers in the Canadian Football League this season are these 2, and they'll go head-to-head here today.
Ryan Dinwiddie on the other side, so they can only focus on what they can control, which is winning a game and getting hot down the stretch. But just that they need confidence as much as anything else at this point in the season after so many tough losses. And Scott Milanovich, looking forward to seeing his team bounce back. Said he's a believer in the burn the film ideology at various points throughout his coaching career. When you go through a difficult loss like the Tiger Cats did last week, that 37-point blowout on the road at Winnipeg, but he said this week, we didn't burn any film. We watched a whole bunch of it to try and learn how to get better in preparation for the 3rd and final regular season matchup between the Tiger Cats and the Argonauts. Away we go. Here on week number 18, as it is returned by Isaiah Wooden out to the 40-yard line. A flag is down on the opening kickoff return, as well as out comes Bo Levi Mitchell.
Well, Bo Levi Mitchell not happy with the way his team came out flat a week ago against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Got in a hole early on that one, giving up a touchdown on the opening kickoff. So no question, the Tiger Cats winning the coin toss, taking the ball here, putting the ball in this man's hands in hopes of getting a faster start here today.
Croker is our referee.
There's no infraction on the play. First down.
And so Hamilton will roll forward here without losing any penalty yardage on illegal block or holding anything else nefarious getting in the way of things. As Bo Levi Mitchell, almost a military warm-up, it felt like on the sideline today. An extremely focused Hamilton Tiger Cats club, which if you are an Argonaut or an Argonauts fan, you got to be aware of that considering just how explosive Hamilton was the first time they came here this season, as Kenny Lawler splits out to the top of your screen in the sun and the heat in Toronto. Mitchell looks left immediately over the top. DeAndre Smith catches it down the sideline all the way inside the 30 and gets pushed out of bounds at the end of the play, but not until the explosive Hamilton Tiger Cats offense reappears here in Toronto.
Yeah, Yeah, maxing things up in protection at the line. You see Keandre Smith coming in motion, top right corner of your screen. They're just going to slip him out to the sideline and wheels it up. Busted coverage leaves him wide open for a big gain out of the gate here for black and gold.
Toronto Argonauts defense giving up more pass completions of 30 yards or more than any team in the CFL. That's their 30th on the season allowed. Mitchell continues looking left. This time flips it into the flats as Andy Litre makes the grab. And we get an opportunity to meet the Hamilton Tiger Cats offense.
Yeah, looking at this group, little change on the offensive line. Jordan Murray comes in for Brendan Bordner at the left tackle spot. And it's been a little bit of a shift philosophically for the Tiger Cats in recent weeks offensively. Greg Bell, 476 rushing yards over the last 4 games. So the passing numbers are down a little bit. The run game has been highly productive.
What's that? A change of appearance from what we were used to at the beginning of this season for the Tiger Cats offense as they do look to throw here once again underneath. Keandre Smith, and that's how he's had a couple of monster outings this year. Little crossing routes underneath, throws all the rest, but mixing and matching with that big explosive play to open the drive. A drive that will end with a field goal attempt.
Yeah, Bo settles for Keandre Smith on that underneath crosser as something of a check down. Looked a little bit like if he had gone to him earlier, had gotten to that stage in his progression earlier, there might have been a little bit more room for Smith, but he had drifted a little closer to an Argonaut defender by the time he received the ball.
Mark Leggio named the Pro Football Focus honor roll recipient as a kicker in September. Was 16 of 17 in the month. Let's see how he does here in October. 29 yards away and splits the uprights easily as Nick Arbuckle having a tremendous season for the 19-time Grey Cup champion Toronto Argonauts, but they must win to stay in the dance here in Week 18.
Oh, this is cute. Yeah, there's no price on this.
Oh, that's because it's not for sale. We're just vehicle specialists.
But the last place I went sold all kinds of things.
At Fountain Tire, we focus on one thing, your vehicle.
Huh. I like that.
Tires are on, belts replaced, sidecar attached. You're all set.
Wow, that was fast. I'm not quite done shopping.
You're funny.
Really?
Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Chevrolet believes the truck should be as capable as they are dependable, like the rugged Colorado and the highly capable Silverado 1500, the powerful Silverado HD, and the uncompromising Silverado EV. In every Chevrolet truck, dependability comes standard. Right now, finance a 2025 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 Crew Cab from 0% for 84 months. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Well, Labor Day certainly was a classic between the Tiger Cats and the Argonauts, and I don't know if anybody in black and gold wants to have any Dijon mustard anytime. Dijon Brissett with one of the more memorable plays of this entire CFL season, almost turned into disaster, but of course the Argonauts knocked it through with Liam Hairolau, the former Tiger Cat, and they get the season split coming into matchup number 3.
Well, always a great rivalry. Labor Day, always a classic. That one will certainly go on the list.
First touch here for the double blue offense. Little play fake and almost intercepted. Stavros Katsantonis was all over it, flying down from free safety.
Yeah, there was great anticipation from the safety, Katsantonis. Coming from the middle of the field, you're going to see Jake Herslow from the slot. A little bit of a delay. And then tucking underneath, but you can see Katsantonis coming downhill on it all the way.
The amount of ground he covered. Trying to just get a little sleepy slant in there, and Stavros having none of it. They leave 2nd and 10. As now Arbuckle works the pocket, chased down from behind, knocked out as well. The football's on the ground. Philip Osai was the one who got there. extraordinary field position immediately.
We'll certainly keep an eye on Nick Arbuckle, who looks to be favoring his right shoulder a little bit after getting absolutely blasted on that one, coming down hard on his throwing shoulder. It'll be Osai working back as you see him pushed past the pocket, but working back as Arbuckle starts to scramble. Quarterback didn't see him coming and just got buried.
Again, Arbuckle having an unbelievable season here, getting a chance to establish himself, but currently Jared Daggy warming up on the sidelines. As our Matthew Cinetti stares down the Argonauts bench. Meanwhile, Levi Mitchell goes to work. Kenny Lawler backwards flipping. They'll talk it over, and they'll spot the football. Another big completion called on the field to Kenny Lawler.
And this is a fantastic effort from Lawler. I think the Argos are going to want to take another look at this quickly, as it initially appeared that Lawler may have been off his feet. But then again.
And they go quickly. Greg Bell gets the touch, trying to run outside. Skip and a hop, but Kenny Lawler, how was he able to body control?
Yeah, this is unreal. Keep an eye on the right foot of Lawler as the ball's coming in, because it looks like he had to jump to catch this, but he manages to tap that right foot inbounds. I should know better than to doubt Kenny.
He's been sensational his first year in black and gold as he hurries to the line here with Levi Mitchell inside the score zone early on after the sack and forced fumble by Philip Osai. They'll empty it out for Bo. Five-man rush underneath, and no completion, but a flag comes all the way in from the defensive backfield, as Greg Bell was the intended receiver.
Yeah, I mean, it was the nickel linebacker, Brandon Dozier, in coverage, who was in a little bit early trying to make a play on that ball.
Tim Croker waved off the first penalty thrown in this ball game, but as they take a quick look at it.
Pass interference against Toronto. It's not about a first down.
So the 48th defensive penalty of the 2025 season goes against the Argonauts D.
And Bell starts off on the left side, very left edge of your screen, and working across the field left to right. And Dozier, I think the feet got tangled up and tripping the intended receiver.
Mitchell, quick ball fake to the outside, and he'll walk in. Kenny Lawler continues to victimize the Argos defense.
And good protection here, quick hitter, as Lawler is just going to take advantage of the inside leverage being played by the defender. Benji Franklin bounces it to the outside for an easy completion.
I think I just heard Lawler look at the Argonauts bench and say, that's one. Well, he had plenty of them last time that he was here. And Nick Arbuckle said he really respects the Hamilton offense. They're fun to watch, using tight ends and fullbacks and all kinds of creative ways. That one especially drawn up just for Kenny Lawler down in the score zone, and it pays off. The question now is whether or not Nick Arbuckle is coming out with the Argonauts offense. But Levi Mitchell in rhythm early on and finds his favorite target here in 2025.
Get Advil Liquid Gels for fast and effective relief. And conquer your tough pain and fevers with the power of Liquid Fast Relief. Try Advil Liquid Gels and get liquid fast relief.
And your car is ready to go.
Great.
Huh. Did you want to redeem your Canadian Tire money? You've got enough for your oil change to be free.
Wait, I can pay with Canadian Tire money?
Oh, yeah.
What? I can pay with Canadian Tire money?
Rewards for auto service? Feels this good. Earn and redeem Canadian Tire money for auto service. Only in Canada's Garage.
What makes Special K red berries so special? The 11 vitamins and minerals?
Oh, and are those strawberries? Oh, wait. Can you go back to the berries? Special K. Special for a reason.
Monopoly Double Play at McDonald's is almost here. With millions of prizes to be won. Get ready to peel like a winner.
Sponge towels. Nothing absorbs like it.
We'll take a look here at the latest touchdown by Kenny Lawler. Sells the inside route coming underneath. Will bang back to the outside. Gets the defender over pursuing to create that separation.
Tremendous route running and far too easy a couple of times already against the Argonauts secondary. As see Nick Arbuckle heading into the tent on the Toronto sideline right now. So it appears Jared Daggy helmet on, ready to come into the football game as Mark Leggio will send it down. And caught by Janarian Grant inside his 5. A couple of blocks out in front and a pile made right in the middle. Tyler Turnowski, special teams ace for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. As out comes Jared Daggy, who got his first action in relief at home against Edmonton just a couple of weeks ago and got a start against the Montreal Alouettes as well.
Yeah, Nick Arbuckle was battling that calf injury. Remember the dramatic finish against Edmonton? It was, in fact, Daggy who led the Argos on their last offensive drive. En route to kicking the winning points. Was in camp this year, in fact, with Edmonton. Joined the Argos at the end of training camp.
Daggy with his first snap as Arbuckle exits for now 0 for 1, and Casey Sales makes a good play in the running game here as the Argonauts offense looks like this.
And on that offensive line, Hampton Ergel gets the start at the left tackle spot. Argos have battled some injuries along their offensive line throughout the season. Keep an eye with the continued absence of DeMonte Coxie from this Argonaut receiving corps. Mackay Polk made his return a few weeks ago. An outstanding rookie season last year, had an NFL stint in camp this year before rejoining the Double Blue.
Julian Hauser drops out, confusing Daggy, and then underneath the check down goes as Hauser flies up from his all of a sudden linebacker position. Bit of a different look that time from Brett Monson, defensive coordinator of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, mixing and matching his personnel, and looks like being able to get a stop for now.
Spot close enough to allow the Argos to go for it here on third, Marsh.
And Jared Daggy will dig in under center. 7 Canadians starting on this Argonauts offense. As we send it down to our Matthew Shinetti on the sidelines. Matthew?
Yeah, just by the Argos tent, Marshall, and see if Nick Arbuckle is going to come out for the second time, because while Jared Daggy was warming up, Nick Arbuckle took the ball, he threw it, and then keeled over in pain, favoring that right shoulder. He's been conferencing with the Argos medical staff for the last couple of minutes, but I got eyes on that tent.
Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate it. And you can see the immediate reaction, Dwayne, as soon as he hit the ground, just cringing in pain.
Yeah. Again, didn't have a chance to prepare himself for that hit at all. He didn't see the pursuit coming from the backside and just got rocked.
The Argonauts get the first down, and now Mackay Polk turns around, gets another first down as they'll advance the football to the 46-yard line before Polk finally gets thrown down, and bringing some energy here after making his return to the Canadian Football League after spending some time with the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, you'll remember Mackay Polk was the hottest receiver in the Canadian Football League the last half of the 2024 season.
Good cut.
The Argos certainly looking to rely on him a little bit with what remains of this 2025 season.
Trying to find that explosive passing game with Jared Daggy might be a bit more of a challenge. Limited reps, obviously, with Arbuckle planning to go once again. Handed off inside in between the tackles this time. As the Hamilton Tiger Cats defense doing a pretty good job here early on.
And we've had a chance to be introduced already to one Philip Osai as he had the big hit on Nick Arbuckle. 4 sacks on the season. 5 for Osai, make it 5 now. Kyler Fisher has taken over at that weak side linebacker spot and has been very productive in Brent Monson's offense. The Cats Argonaut Jamal Peters back at the boundary corner position. Team leader in interceptions this season with 5.
43 tackles as well for Peters on the year. As this one inside out and messy from start to finish. Looks like Destin Talbot was all over it as Daggy, looking, hoping, begging for a flag, but he won't get it.
Yeah, defender and receiver. A little bit of incidental contact there, it appeared. Ryan Dinwiddie doesn't appear to feel that it was so incidental.
So for now, John Haggerty comes out, ready to send this one away. And Kenny Lawler on the sidelines, rubbing his hands, ready to go back to work. After getting the opening major of this one. Big leg of Haggerty. Drops down to Wooden inside his 15-yard line, and solid coverage there after the 45-yard punt. Kenny Lawler back to work in his first year with the Hamilton Tiger Cats into the end zone early on. We'll see if he can duplicate it when we return.
With Prime Big Deal Days coming October 7th through the 10th, greatness is a deal away.
Just bust the move.
Shop deals from kitchen to electronics this Prime Big Deal Days.
During cold season, a single sneeze can change everything. Emergency, a tasty boost of vitamins, minerals, and electrolytes to support your energy and immunity. Get Emergency Ready.
KFC's $12 meal for two. 2 pieces of original recipe, get 2. Popcorn chicken, make it 2. And fries, get 2, too. The $12 meal for 2, a finger-licking good deal. Only at KFC.
Welcome to the Canadian Football League. Receiver in the Canadian Football League to be double digits in touchdowns at this point, and nearly half of them have come against the Toronto Argonauts this season. 5 TDs, 16 catches, 330 yards. Video game numbers from KL this season against Toronto.
Yeah, and Kenny Lawler picking up right where he left off on Labor Day, already with a touchdown here in the first quarter today to get this Ticat offense going.
Now it does have 6 touchdowns against Toronto, 12 on the season. Continues to push the boundaries of what's possible in this offense. Down the stretch, headed towards the Grey Cup playoffs. Was moved by Mitchell and Skates. Checks it down underneath. And Greg Bell wrapped up immediately. Great play that time in the open field by Benji Franklin, who's part of this Argonauts defense.
Yeah, look at this defense. Anthony Lanier missing from that defensive line, so we anticipate seeing a little bit more of Ricky Correa, the defensive tackle spot. We mentioned the former Tiger Cat, Brandon Dozier, started this season in black and gold. He's at the nickel linebacker spot. Keep an eye on Benji Franklin. No knockdowns this year, but leading the way in interceptions for this Argo defense with 4.
Utilizing the why knock it down when you can catch it rule. Exactly. Benji Franklin. Great ball skills so far this season as Mitchell looks right, comes back left, running free, Brendan O'Leary, Orange. It's an absolute moonshot, and all the way is Brendan O'Leary, Orange. Bogey by Mitchell, never in doubt. 87 yards for the major.
Well, Brendan O'Leary, Orange, lines up on the outside, far right of your screen. He's just going down the rail on this one. was like the entire defense kind of froze with their eyes on what was happening underneath there. O'Leary Orange just kept running. Massive touchdown here for the Toronto native. Father Doyle Orange, a former Toronto Argonaut star running back.
As Leggio looks to knock through the extra point coming into today. Argonauts defense on pass attempts of 20 yards or more, giving up a 58% completion rate. In case you don't know the metrics, that's not great. And it's not any better after Brendan O'Leary Orange takes off and sprints for 7.
Now you can shop smarter at Canadian Tire. With same-day pickup or same-day delivery, so you don't have to shelve projects for later. Shop smarter at Canadian Tire.
Let me see that thumb.
Less scroll, more vibes. However you spice.
Okay, Anthony right here. Big smile.
This is Anthony, CIBC client, filmmaker, and orca enthusiast. Yep, orcas. His lifelong ambition? To film them in the wild. Little did he know.
It costs so much money.
Enter Colin, his longtime CIBC advisor. He turned his spending habits into a savings plan, and in 1 year got him to Norway. So he could shoot this and this. What's holding your ambitions back? We're here to help make them happen. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Celebrating football here in Toronto today with a little bit of Buffalo Bills flavor. And there's perhaps no face more identifiable than the Jim Kelly, who's with our Matthew Shinetti.
Yeah, so honored to be joined alongside Hall of Famer Jim Kelly. And Jim, we were just discussing it. How significant is it for the Buffalo Bills, an historic and successful franchise, and the Toronto Argonauts to come together for the benefit of grassroots football?
This is awesome. I mean, it all starts with kids. And I was very, very blessed that as a youngster, I had 5 brothers, and we all started when we were just little ones. But you can't get going until you have people promoting it and get going. And Argos and the Bills, I like it, and keep it going.
What kind of connection did you have with Canadian fans, knowing that there are so many Bills fans who come from Southern Ontario and the Golden Horseshoe who make their trip down to Highmark every single weekend?
Well, back in my day, it was called Rich Stadium. And the good thing about it is I was able to get to know a bunch. As a matter of fact, I'm here with a couple guys that are from Toronto here now. So, and my brother's up the stairs, Chad's dad. But anytime you can pull everybody together, whether it's the Argos or the Blue Jays or, well, hockey-wise, it's a little different. Sabres, but you know what? The bottom line is the love that we have for each other.
And I have to ask you very quickly, we were showing it as we were introducing you, the 1990 AFC Championship game against the Raiders and the kind of dominant performance you guys had before getting to your first Super Bowl appearance. What do you remember about that game?
Well, it was number one was 1996. I remember 1990.
1990.
Oh my gosh, that's a long time ago. Well, you know, as a little kid, my dream was to be in the NFL, and of course, leading my team and having that day, us going to his first Super Bowl ever in the franchise history, and it all coming down to 2 minutes left in the game. Everything I dreamt about as a little kid, drive my team down to win a Super Bowl, I was able to do, but unfortunately it didn't turn out the way we wanted it, but we still had fun.
Incredible. Such a pleasure to meet you.
Back at you, bud. Good to meet you.
Thank you, Matthew, and go Bills. I think we can all say another big arm throw here from Jared Deggy, and fitting coming away from the K-Gun interview right there with Jim Kelly.
Yes, doing his best Jim Kelly impression, or at the very least Chad Kelly. Throwing the rock for these Toronto Argonauts. Big play to get them out near midfield, try and get a little bit of momentum in this ballgame.
Deggy again rips it underneath, curl route, Mackay poke, a little bit of chemistry brewing there as Nick Arbuckle hurt after just 1 pass attempt in this ball game, and now a 17-0 hole nearing the end of the first quarter for the Argonauts offense, but plenty of time to work their way back in. They do trust Jared Deggy to open this thing up.
Yeah, I mean, the Argos are a team that their success depends on their ability to move the ball in the air, not necessarily a big running attack for Toronto this season. So a lot of pressure falling on Jared Deggy as you see Nick Arbuckle looking like he is not going to be returning anytime soon.
Still in the pass, but that sling says it all. As this catch made, Dave Unger, he digged that one into the turf. Tyler Fisher right there in coverage as well, but they'll signal first down once again for Toronto.
Yeah, good read, good execution there from the Toronto Argonaut offense with the safety Stavros Katsantonis hitting the line running on the blitz that time.
Ryan Dinwiddie dialing it up as Argonauts completing 72.1% of their passes on the season with Nick Arbuckle mostly at the helm, second to only Edmonton. Cody Fajardo and Trey Ford this season. As Daggy completes yet another. And it is Dejon Brissett, who has started at 3 different positions this year and has really been the glue guy. He's fixed so much of it, and it looks like Peters might be down after trying to deliver the blow. He received more of it than Brissett.
Yeah, I just wonder if this might be a stinger, just getting caught in the wrong position on contact here. You see Peters running into the picture. And it looked like he just ducked his head a little bit. Tweaked that head and neck on impact.
Dangerous play. Coming in, trying to make the tackles. You see him tapping his left arm and shoulder area. But Scott Milanovic knows the value of having a dominant boundary corner like Jamal Peters. Be able to craft his defense around.
Aside from the talent of Jamal Peters, often, you know, you get an injury at one of those corner positions, it so often leads to multiple changes, and then not just one person playing out a position in the secondary, but a couple of people having to shift around.
As Brett Monson trying to sort out exactly how he'll approach potentially not having Peters in the lineup here as Deshaun Amos took a knee, and now Peters is sitting up, which is great to be able to see. As Panabaker has come into the game, the Western Mustang 5th round pick in 2023.
The Mustangs, who were victorious over McMaster last week, had their homecoming. Just wanted to mention that, Marshall, in case.
And great to see Jamal Peters onto his feet and walking off. As he'll take a moment to regather himself and likely head into the injury tent on the sideline here. But yeah, the shuffling on the back end.
They're just taking a look at the moves. It looks like we're going to see Jonathan Moxey go from field corner to boundary corner. It appears Reggie Stubblefield will move from nickel to field corner, and Rob Panabaker looks to be in at the nickel backer spot.
Stavros Katsantonis at free safety trying to organize all of it with plenty of faces in new places. With less than 3 minutes remaining in a 17-point Tiger Cats advantage here in the first quarter. Inside run converts for another Argonauts first down between the tackles as Kevin Mittal comes off the sideline and into the ball game here for the Argos offense.
Yeah, got it. I think Ryan Dinwiddie, well, still looking to see his team get some points on the board here, maybe breathing a little easier with the Argonauts having put together a pretty solid drive here in response to the Brendan O'Leary orange touchdown.
Kind of calmed the game down.
Yeah.
As well, the measured attack, 73% pass play call so far this year. They'll throw once again. And the basic stuff, all curls. You run it even when you're a kid. Jim Kelly probably ran that when he was a little kid, hoping that he was going to get a chance to play in the NFL one day as Dejon Brissett hauls this one in.
Yeah, great to see Dejon Brissett, former number 2 overall pick, the 2020 Canadian Football League draft. Healthy and enjoying a terrific season here in 25.
And this one skips away from Mackay Polk, off the mark from Jared Daggy, incomplete, so 2nd and 10. And anytime that it's 2nd and 7+, that's been tough for the Argos this year, converting at just 34%. That's the worst in the CFL.
That always difficult 2nd and long situation. We'll see what the Ticats dial up here, or if the injury and resulting shuffle causes them to simplify a little bit on D.
Moxie continues to hold down the boundary corner spot in place of Peters, injured on this drive. Is now Daggy with pressure on. Julian Hauser gets the sack, flags down as well. And Hauser bursting around the edge as he does so often in his return to Hamilton after going to Calgary in free agency.
Yeah, it'll be the 8th sack of the season.
Toronto number 58. Penalties declined. It's 3rd down.
For the veteran Julian Hauser. You see Hauser, usually a defensive end. He and Osai line up to the same side of the field, the two starting DNs. A little bit of a different look here for the Cats. Jose Ramirez also in the game with sort of a three edge rusher look, essentially.
A true rush package in for Brett Montson's defense, which is showing a variety of looks we haven't seen that much of so far this season in the first quarter. The Argonauts are on the board. Miriam Hairola, who had the game-winning field goal in the Labor Day Classic just a month or so ago, knocks it through, and 17-3 is your score. Canada's top home cooks are ready to battle it out in the kitchen. A new season of Master Chef Canada, Tuesday on CTV, stream the next day on Crave. You can enter? You can do it. Use some of my Vermont barbecue sauces that I brought you.
That was a nice touch, by the way. Thank you for that gift from your travels.
Bo Levi Mitchell flips this one out. And Tim Buckland, a stutter step. Nice little move. Touch and go for a second there, and I think he made Cameron Judge miss in the open field as well, which that in itself is quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, the back-to-back stutters here by Tim White as you see the defense respecting his speed, not wanting him to get outside. Not bad when you can make Wynton McManus and Cameron Judge both miss on the same play.
Pretty good instincts that time from Tim White as he was about to run full speed for Judge come downhill. I don't know if that was a juke or just throw the brakes on and hope.
Self-preservation.
Short yardage packages in here. Big Golagawa. A big body third-string quarterback for the Tiger Cats. Pushes his way across the 50-yard line for a Tiger Cats first down as Cameron Judge rejoins the fray, the stat stuffer extraordinaire.
Again, Bo Levi Mitchell, as this first quarter winds down. Wow. Looking at a little bit of perfection so far. Marshall, what's the quick QB rating calculation on those numbers?
156.3, I think, is the off the top of my head. Last play of the first quarter here in Toronto. As Mitchell will end the first quarter a perfect 9 of 9. Keandre Smith, why not? He started the quarter with it. It was perfection for the most part for Hamilton, and he'll end it with a completion to Keandre Smith as well. Toronto sweeping the season series in 2023, a perfect 4-0. Hamilton 3-0 last year. This year, it's a split. We'll see who gets the victory here today to determine 2025.
Together, your love turned the whole world on its head. And all the while, you were watching clothes dry. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen.
Just a truck? Sure, and hockey's just a game. Ram's not built for just. It's built to win. It's built to race. It's built to last. So is Ram just a truck? Yeah, the same way Canada is just a country. Ram Power Days are here. Get 0% financing for 72 months on both the 2025 Ram 1500 and Ram 2500.
Everybody wants super straight, super white teeth. They want that Hollywood white smile. New Sensodyne Clinical White provides 2 shades whiter teeth and 24/7 sensitivity protection. I think it's a great product. It's going to help a lot of patients.
It is a big lead for the Hamilton Tiger Cats right now, but of course, we know a guy that understands lots about having a big lead in the Canadian Football League and how to, of course, organize yourself moving forward. It's great to have Doug Flutie here with the Toronto Argonauts and the Buffalo Bills, having a partnership, of course, to celebrate youth football and figuring out exactly how to grow the game on both sides of the board. Doug, thank you for being with us again.
My pleasure, and it's a great organization to be involved with, and it's a good collaboration between the Bills and the Argos, and hopefully for the future of football here in Ontario.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone at home understands that regional league geography is close together. You might as well work together to figure this out. Your experience of being here in Toronto first, what are some of your takeaway memories of just the joy that you had playing the game up north?
It's so much fun. Don Matthews, Pinball Clemens, Paul Mazzotti all put so much fun back in the game for me, and I thoroughly enjoyed my 2 years here. And of course, being successful during those 2 years makes it a lot more fun.
Yeah, not a bad winning percentage in your time in Double Blue. Is the first incompletion of the ball game. DeAndre Smith has it rattle out of his hands, falls to the turf. But being able to see, I'm sure you watched these highlights over and over and over again. Did you realize how open you were going to be right up the middle there?
I stepped up. You know what went through my mind? I stepped up the middle against Edmonton the year before and threw an interception because I didn't run it in. So, no, the Argos games were great. The snow games just made beautiful pictures that last a lifetime. Some great memories. There's Osh right above me. He's doing a phenomenal job, right? He's still in Winnipeg, right?
Absolutely. Levi Mitchell digs in on 2nd and 10. And he'll check it down outside. Greg Bell makes the grab and tries to make two missed Cameron Judge knock on it many times.
Doug, I want to ask you, as a guy who is so familiar with the game on both sides of the border and has spent a little time in the booth, you know, we've seen a number of developments, I guess, over your time in the Canadian Football League, things like the 5-receiver offense, the nickel linebacker on D, that have made their way down south. Is there anything that stands out to you as kind of a Canadian innovation that's become prominent in American football?
I just believe the spread offense in general is. Like the empty sets and the just slinging it, moving it around. The athletic quarterbacks are going to. Because zone blitz has created a situation where the big tall guy was getting lit up a lot. And the athletes, you needed an athlete back there. So a lot of it has come from the CFL days, and that's what we were doing 30 years ago.
We were actually, as the field goal attempt here from the Tiger Cats will go wide. Engineering Grant with an opportunity to return it. And they'll get pushed out of bounds around the 10-yard line. We were talking to Nick Arbuckle, that started for the Toronto Argonauts, obviously, here today, unfortunately injured. But when Nick was saying, I want to watch some film of Doug back when they played, and our producer, John Hines, actually said, well, you're not going to believe this. They basically just left a guy off the edge for Doug to deal with every time. Just figure it out on the fly.
John Huffnagel and I out in Calgary, one time we had a protection, and I was expecting the back to be on a swing. He had to stop and pick up the blitz, and all of a sudden I turned, and I'm like, oh, he's not there. So I went over to Huff. I go, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. Just free releases, but get him out, get him in the route. And that's what we started to do. I wanted to take the pressure off the receivers so that they would just go full speed, and I'll deal with the pressures and getting rid of it quick.
That was maybe designed because your fullback was missing blocks.
No. That's what the turn protections. I need to do the turn protections, baby.
I did see you, Jim Kelly, breaking it down. Looked like some X's and O's talk down on the field pregame. Sorting things out.
Yeah, I don't want to get hit anymore. We have 3 guys. I don't want to get hit anymore. No, Jim and I basically we started talking. We sound like a bunch of old men talking about the old days and what the young kids are making, and they don't get hit anymore, and you can't hit them there. You can't. It's funny. We've hit that age where we don't want to get hit.
Now I'm just wondering what Doug Flutie would have got at Boston College in NIL money.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I finished 3rd in the Heisman my junior year. I would have been a free agent across. Oh my goodness.
Would have been quite a payoff given the current circumstances. As Jared Daggy was the 2nd and 6 with some pressure on. He lays it up and it's picked off. Moxie's got it as he rolls his way across the 25-yard line, and again, outstanding field position for the Tiger Cats.
Jonathan Moxie moves over to that boundary corner position, and right away picks up for Jamal Peters, team leader in interceptions. Moxie's got himself one from that spot now.
He just turned a deep receiver loose and decided, I see the ball being thrown to the corner route, and jumps the corner. He should be running off deep. Instead, he put the brakes on and broke on the ball.
Saw it the whole way and never in question.
My analyst, I was looking at the whole thing happening live. I'm like, oh, that's picked as soon as it left his hand.
veteran DB, young quarterback?
I tell you, that's exactly what it is. He knew he wasn't throwing the deep ball, and it just eyed the quarterback on the throw.
Well, the veteran quarterback goes back to work. It's Kenny Waller. Went down low, got scared away as Derek Sluka came down. Talk about the Bills-Argonauts relationship. It's Sluka from the Finger Lakes region. As we get a chance to go back to another in the long list of highlight reel clips.
Oh my God, he caught it again.
Does he always catch it when you watch it?
Every time. Gerard is unbelievable. He almost suffocated under that puck. He had his arms pinned to his side. He was down on his back, guys on his face. And boy, he said the only reason he knew he was in the end zone, he saw paint underneath.
Plenty of amazing moments, obviously, in the career. I imagine, especially because of the bond you make playing at the collegiate level, it's incredible to think the elation that was running through your body in that moment. Probably nothing like it, no matter how long you play.
At the collegiate level, you live together. You're 24/7 around each other, eating and practice and school and everything else. And just a great, lifelong bonds with those guys. We still all are on email chains and text chains and talking about each other's kids playing high school ball and things like that. Just an unbelievable group of guys and a phenomenal bond.
So what's your take on some of what's going on with the transfer portal and NIL money and the movement? When you think exactly the things you just described, maybe never exist as much.
They're out of existence. They're not going to have that same experience. Now they're making money. That's very well blocked. Got a little kick out. He stayed right in there. Nice patience. Very nice patience running the ball here, letting the blocks happen.
Well, this Tiger Cat run game that's been so good over the course of the last 4 outings gets it done here. A quiet start to them as they've been airing it out against the Toronto Argonauts. But as you called it, Doug, nicely blocked up at the line of scrimmage, and Greg Bell does the rest.
It was 55. That right tackle came down. A little double team. Didn't really need him. Turned to the outside. He pinned the guy outside and gone. Really nice.
Right there's the balance of the Hamilton Tiger Cats second half of the season there.
Who runs the ball in the CFL? Throw them football.
Let the quarterback run it, right?
Yeah, if you're going to run.
Love it. Well, thank you so much for being with us once again, Doug. We appreciate the time, and great to share some memories today, and looking forward to seeing the partnership continue to grow.
So much fun being around the CFL. Thank you.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Awesome. Thanks.
We'll be back coming up just after this to try.
No matter what kind of teeth you gotta brush, Oral-B Electric cleans better with one simple touch. Oral-B's dentist-inspired round brush head hugs them, cleans them, and gets in between them for 100% cleaner teeth. Your perfect clean routine starts with Oral-B.
When pain stops you in your tracks, try new Voltacare Cooling Cream with 4 pain-fighting ingredients. And get fast cooling pain relief. New Voltacare Cooling Cream.
You know those times when you're not drinking, but you really fancy a lovely, cold, smooth Guinness? Well, guess what? Guinness Zero. We've taken the alcohol out, but left the Guinness in.
With Prime Big Deal Days coming October 7th through the 10th, greatness is a deal away.
Just bust the move.
Shop deals from home to electronics this Prime Big Deal Days.
What you doing?
My tooth still hurts.
Go to the dentist.
You know I don't have insurance.
But the Canadian Dental Care Plan is here. If your family income is under $90,000 and you don't have dental insurance, you might qualify.
So no more frozen peas?
The Canadian Dental Care Plan is helping millions of Canadians access the dental care they need. A message from the Government of Canada.
And here you see the Hamilton Tiger Cats' latest touchdown in this ball game. Greg Bell in the ground attack getting involved. Nice work by the offensive line, creating that seam, allowing them to get past the line of scrimmage. Bell doing the rest, fighting into the end zone.
You see the 14 points off turnovers as Nick Arbuckle sack force fumble by Philip Osai, recovered by Julian Hauser, and it was a Kenny Lawler touchdown then. The Jonathan Moxey interception goes to Greg Bell. The 2 majors in this one, and Toronto in tough at home as Missionary Grant doing the best he can. Try to carve out some field position, but a flag comes down on the return. And will likely back up the double blue.
Well, a Toronto Argonaut team that...
Holding. Toronto number 90. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Needs to get some points. I'm not going to say in a hurry just yet, but if they can't get some stops, they're going to need to start scoring real soon. And they'll need to do so without the injured Nick Arbuckle. Jared Daggy at the helm here.
Arbuckle coming into today with the most pass completions in the CFL this season, 365. As you see, Jamal Peters as well remaining on the sideline with the Tiger Cats defense back on the field. And you called it, well, Doug Flutie was here with us, Dwayne, seeing Moxie pop from corner to corner, and it's just a little bit less space maybe over here. Just adept at the trade is a nice double move this time, and Daggy with an easy completion thanks to the route running of Mackay Polk. They needed some life, and that time Ryan did what he dialed it.
As you get a look at this one, you're going to see Jonathan Moxie sort of cleared out of that part of the field by a post route. And then Polk in and then out, bouncing it out into the space vacated by the corner. Nice touch from Daggy on the ball.
Fisher looking to the sky, hoping he could find the Wilson, but not there. As now they'll just flip it to the outside, and the rare Argonauts running game all of a sudden appears. Spencer Brown, last 3 games, 25 carries, just 55 yards, but that a huge chunk relative to what they've been producing.
Yeah, and the key to this play, if you watch Mackay Polk, the man who just made the big catch, follows up with a big block. Nice technique here just to seal. The old days, you used to be able to take a big crack at those guys coming outside in as a receiver, but Polk plays that perfectly, doesn't deliver a blow, more of kind of a pick to seal Julian Hauser to the inside and let Spencer Brown get around the edge.
Justin Talbot eventually gets hands on Brown. Is now Jake Herslow trying to get him involved, and very nearly got blown up by Panabaker flying down from that nickel linebacker spot, but Herslow turns the corner and gets a solid gain on first.
And you look at the last couple of plays offensively for the Toronto Argonauts. They're forcing that defense to move laterally, maybe slow down a little bit of that upfield push from the Hamilton Tiger Cat front here. Just a means of ultimately slowing things down a little bit for Daggy.
Casey Sales last to dig in on the Tiger Cats defensive line. 5 receivers available for Daggy. Stands in and completes this one, and Polk is having a day at this point. Daggy leaning to that boundary slot back time after time.
Yeah, tight window here. Polk did a nice job sort of moving away. You saw Moxie coming in from the outside, closing on him. Just good recognition by Polk there to anticipate that, move away from the defender a little bit to secure the catch.
Deep drop this time to the outside, knocked away. Once again looking for Polk, but it's Reggie Stubblefield making the play on the football.
And again, talk about that shuffle in the Hamilton secondary. Stubblefield, usually their starting Sam or nickel linebacker, has bounced out. As here you'll see Polk coming out of the slot. Stubblefield has moved from his nickel linebacker spot to play the field corner. Good recognition on that. Recognizing where the quarterback's eyes are going. Letting the deep route go to close on that short one.
Polk with 32 targets since coming back to the Canadian Football League. He's going to double that, it feels like, here today. Now Daggy lifts this one outside. Stubblefield! No! Nearly caught. Herslow stretched out the arms.
That's twice he's done that to you.
Jake Herslow, who has played a starring role in so many highlight reels since stepping into the Argos starting lineup, nearly stabbed this one. Just unable to haul it in.
Up for a second there, he might have been winded as well after going full extension, but Herslow that close to tightening down the scoreboard against the QEW rival Hamilton Tiger Cats. Instead, it's Liram Hairola who punches this one through, trying to drop drop it in the bucket to the man who sits only second behind Kenny Lawler in terms of touchdowns this season. This could have been touchdown number 10 for Hurst, though, but just off the fingertips.
During cold season, a single sneeze can change everything. Emergency, a tasty boost of vitamins, minerals, and electrolytes to support your energy and immunity. Get Emergency ready.
It's on Poshmark.
It's here.
And it's half off.
Find the best deals today.
Yes, Poshmark. I knew Poshmark would have it.
They're perfect. Find everything you want on Poshmark. Download the app to start shopping today.
Right now, get up to $2,079 off select lifestyle adjustable bases. But hurry, this offer ends soon. Only at Sleep Country.
And your car is ready to go.
Great.
Huh. Did you want to redeem your Canadian Tire money? You've got enough for your oil change to be free.
Wait, I can pay with Canadian Tire money?
Oh, yeah.
What? I can pay with Canadian Tire money?
Rewards for auto service? Feels this good. Earn and redeem Canadian Tire money for auto service. Only in Canada's Garage.
Flag football becoming ever more important in the football landscape, and nobody knows that more than Executive Director Kevin McDonald of Football Canada, alongside our Matthew Chinetti.
Yeah, Kevin McDonald's been involved, Marshall, in Canadian football for a long time, even at the CFL level. And Kevin, how significant of a day is this in this partnership between the Toronto Argonauts and the Buffalo Bills, especially knowing at Highmark Stadium this week, when the Patriots and the Bills meet at halftime, will be Canada's women against the U.S. women, and the kind of significance that's going to have for grassroots football and flag football.
Yeah, it's a pretty exciting day, Matt. I think to celebrate the Argos Ticats here today, a great CFL rivalry, to celebrate, two great organizations coming together, MLSC and the Bills, to support grassroots football in the province of Ontario. Both tackle and flag has been an amazing partnership and something that we're excited about, and I know Ontario is. And then, the opportunity our women have tomorrow night to play at halftime against USA Football's women's senior team in an exhibition match at halftime. It's pretty exciting.
We know, obviously on the CFL and TSN crew, how significant the next year is going to be for Paul Apolice and the men's flag football team as they try to get ready for the Olympics. But take us in the audience through how significant the 12 months is going to be for you, the women's flag football team, the men's flag football team.
We've got a lot of work to do. We've qualified. That was the big step, was us, both our men's and women's teams qualifying for the World Championships next summer in August in Düsseldorf, Germany. That's the first of 3 Olympic qualifying spots are up for grabs. So we're really pushing hard between now and then to put ourselves in a position to be successful. A lot of team time, a lot of team bonding. We're going to have ID camps across the country between now and next, I would say April, May, June, somewhere in that time frame as we look to better our roster, heading into that World Championship and hopefully a first of 3 Olympic qualifying spots. But we're excited.
Awesome, exciting times ahead. Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, Matt.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Matthew. And thank you to Kevin for all of the work he's done with Football Canada. Looking forward to seeing where all of the programs can go, including flag football. That halftime in Buffalo tomorrow night is going to be, that's a show right there. And Andrew Chatfield nearly had the interception. We were chatting with Kevin McDonald, and now Janarian Grant gets slippery and runs away until Tyler Turnowski tracks him down from behind. Sort out the flag on the other side for you here in Toronto as Hamilton continues to lead 24-6 over the Argos.
When your back hurts, life hurts. Roback's dual action formula relieves pain and relaxes tight muscles. Take back your back with Robax.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place. This crispy chicken is from a taco place? The taco place? Taco place. It comes in a burrito, too?
We're a taco place that's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Whether you have a full crew, a +1, or if you're headed out solo, with a Jeep, you'll always have a partner in adventure. Jeep Adventure Days are back. Right now, you can get 0% financing for 72 months on a first-class Adventurer, the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Or get 0% financing for 72 months plus $2,000 in bonus cash on the tech-savvy and trail-rated 2025 Jeep Compass. Don't let the Jeep Adventure Days pass you by.
With Prime Big Deal Days coming October 7th through the 10th, greatness is a deal away.
Just bust the move.
Shop deals from kitchen to electronics this Prime Big Deal Days.
Your best defense against erosion and cavities is strong enamel. Nothing beats it. Pro Enamel Active Shield actively strengthens the enamel to defend against erosion and cavities. I think that this product is a game changer for my patients. It really works.
Devin Matala has been sensational throughout this season, digging it off the helmet of a Saskatchewan defensive back, and he has made play after play and continues to stack them up with more. Here's Matthew Shinetti.
Getting close to 100 catches too, Marshall, and you consider the other Argos who've had 100 catches, Terry Greer, Mookie Mitchell, Mike Pinball Clemens twice, S.J. Green. They're all Hall of Famers, and asking passing game coordinator Pete Costanza today, what has made Kevin Mattel so much more of an asset this season? He talked about just that patience and dedication to work, and I asked Mattel, well, you working with anybody? Do you have a contemporary in the league that you like to talk to? And he said, no, I like to be by myself. I like to go ahead and process the game in my own time. When I asked him about 100 catches, he said, yeah, as a player, that matters to me, but knowing the record we have this season, all I care about on a game like this today, yeah, sure, the stats matter, but winning matters more, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Matthew. And the statistical anomaly in this is that he's 13th in yards, right, because of the way he's being used. It's one of those extremely unique statistical seasons where you go, wow, he's having a crazy year, and he is. But the yardage is a different thing because of the way he's being used for much of the season.
Yeah, well, I mean, you look even just at the Toronto Argonauts receiving stats. Second on the team in receiving yards behind DeMonte Coxie by about 100 yards coming in. Coxie's missed the last 5 games.
Yeah, less catches, but lots of yardage for Coxie, and Jake Herslow has stepped into that role. Nearly had a touchdown the last drive as now Jared Deggy gets pulled down the pass rush of the Hamilton Tiger Cats all over him once again as Ramirez in there.
Yeah, Ramirez, an interesting ad. Keep an eye at coming off that edge. Towards the top of your screen, he's going to fold back underneath.
Collapsed the pocket from every single angle that time as Julian Hauser's getting pretty close to being unblockable in this ball game. He is flying off the football today, so it forces the punt. And Haggerty, a wobbling spiral that drops down to the 15-yard line. It'll be picked up. And crossing the 20-yard line to the 25 and thrown down just beyond the 30-yard line, but a solid return once again. And Bo Levi and Mitchell kind of lost in the wash here of all of Hamilton's success early on. Is still really nice statistical performance, but it's calmed a little bit here. You can't be perfect all the time, Dwayne.
Well, it's that going back and forth a little bit, keeping the other team off balance, right? A Hamilton team that's run the ball a lot in recent weeks, but Bo Levi Mitchell with 200 yards here already in the first half of this ball game. You saw the career numbers there against these Toronto Argonauts.
70.6% career against the Argonauts. He's 73.3 currently. As he began with that perfect 9 of 9 in the first quarter. This time he'll turn around and hand it off as the newly balanced Tiger Cats offense continues to find creative ways to get Greg Bell the football.
Yeah, you'll see the little delay or draw type look here almost. That defensive front drawn upfield a little bit, making it easier for Bell to get to second level.
Scott Milanovich trying to make sure Hamilton bounces back from their 37-point defeat last week against Winnipeg. The last time they bounced back from a loss that day back in 2004. It's been a while for the Tiger Cats, but this will certainly help. And what a hole opened up by the left side of that offensive line.
And the Ticats by no means trying to disguise what they're doing here. Big personnel in the ball game, extra offensive linemen, fullback, tight end. And they just get things walled off. You look off to that side. Double team on the edge. Bell just takes it around that steel curtain of offensive linemen.
A little bit of mutual appreciation society in our lead up to this game as Scott Milanovic said that quarterback for Toronto has become a guy all of a sudden. Nick Arbuckle, and Arbuckle said, I love watching this Hamilton offense. Not sure Arbuckle's loving watching it so much right now as Greg Bell having a tremendous last month or so as we were there for the game in Montreal where all of a sudden this offensive line was blowing people that you don't usually see get blown off the football.
Yeah, I mean, people have questioned a little bit that the fact that Bo Levi Mitchell's numbers have been down a little bit in the last month. Well, you see today, there's nothing wrong with Bo. It's just been the Greg Bell show as they've been keeping opponents off balance.
Absolutely. 3-minute warning has been hit here in the first half in Toronto.
Practice starts in 20. Let's get it. T-Mac.
Who shaves for practice?
My game face doesn't take days off with Gillette Labs. Its green bar releases trapped hairs, so you can get virtually every hair in a single stroke.
That's smooth.
The best your game can get is Gillette Labs.
Introducing the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. Ready to go the distance without interruption.
I'm looking forward to multiplying these times. I'm ready for the
Because sometimes going further is what brings you closer together.
and these colors in your eyes, you know.
We thought of everything because we thought of you.
What makes Special K Vanilla Almond so special? The 12 vitamins and minerals? What about the real almonds or that sweet vanilla flavor? Or do good things just come in threes? Special K. Special for a reason.
Imagine if your fave spot was always nice. Your usual? Perfect. Your friends? Right on time. As for your investments, well, imagine if everything was as good as gold.
These teams have combined for 157 points in their first two meetings. Looks like it's going to be another high-scoring affair, albeit a lopsided affair so far. These guys will break down the first half, plus we'll put Lapo to work. Coach's playbook, all coming up at the half.
Looking forward to that, and hearing Coach dig in as Nick Arbuckle out there injured early on in this ball game. First two meetings against the Tiger Cats, helping the offense for Toronto, 73 points, nearly 700 yards, and 5 touchdowns. The problem, Bo Levi Mitchell, his numbers are even crazier as he steps up in the pocket here and looks down the field. Now second and long, Bo uses the legs and gets down just in time to avoid Tavares McFadden.
Using the legs and using his head. He knows where that first down marker is. Got what he needed, protected himself. Gets the troops ready to rock again here with a fresh set of downs.
And we saw Bo with a rushing touchdown when we were in Montreal a month ago as well.
First in a decade.
The rarest of sights, and he joked after the game, slowest guy ever to get to 1,000 yards rushing. Under center here is Mitchell, turns around, hands it off. Greg Bell, it's somewhere in the middle of that mosh pit. It'll go for a gain of 3.
Winton McManus, never a surprise to see him in the middle of the mix. Defensively for these Toronto Argonauts, little question who their emotional leader is.
Winton, of course, coming back, offered some big money in free agency, but wanted to be here in Toronto after the Grey Cup championship last year. Been a struggle at times for the Toronto defense, but never in the middle, never a linebacker with Cameron Judge and Winton McManus working together. And Mitchell all day, now he gets folded up and brought down. And finally, that Bo held on to it forever.
Just as Bo looked like he wanted to spin out of there to escape from the collapsing pocket. Looked like his legs got tangled up there. Joe Wallace, newcomer on that defensive line, in at D tackle. Chance to get on the roster with the injury to Lanier. There you see the swim against Brandon Revenberg. And he keeps coming. Looked like Ricky Correa, who came from the other side, may have gotten a piece of Bo's leg first.
And then Constantino comes out to hammer this one away. Two returners standing back, Dave Ungerer and Janarian Grant. As for now, Constantino stares down Janarian Grant. And he'll send it high and away. And drops. See where they spot. On the edge of the end zone there as Jared Daggy gets set to go back to work, and the Hamilton Tiger Cats, keep in mind, did win the coin toss, decide to take the football right away, which means Toronto has the chance to do the double dip here, which could play significant mends to getting them back into the ballgame.
Yeah. Big possession here offensively for the Toronto Argonauts. You know, you look at the strategies of both teams, given what the score is, given the time left in the half, and so on. Hamilton electing to kick. Obviously, they're trying to pin Toronto deep, make them go 110 yards with their backup quarterback against the clock. The Argos make a decision. You know what? We'll give up one more point to take the shorter field here, starting with the ball at their 40-yard line, giving Jared Daggy a fighting chance here to try and put some points on the board before the break.
9-6 Tiger Cats in the playoffs already. Toronto trying to win their way in. But plenty of work to be done, and it continues right now with another completion inside. The Dijon Brissett, as you see, Chad Kelly standing alongside Nick Arbuckle watching on together. Daggy gets back to the line quickly here on 2nd and 1. Looking into traffic, up for grabs, tossed up in the air and intercepted. Daggy gets picked off as Stavros Katsantonis is the beneficiary of Devin Verisuk. It looked like flying out to distract the receiver.
Yeah, Verisuk on his way there. Polk recognizes he's got the two linebackers converging on him. He's kind of trying to step in front of them to make the catch. And in doing so, maybe loses his concentration on the ball a little bit. It ends up popping up in the air, and Katsantonis with the diving grab for his 4th INT of the season.
And the frustration obvious from Mackay Polk. Trying to fit it into a tight window and just couldn't get it going. As now Greg Bell tries to turn the corner, makes one tackler miss, and he's inside the 40 before he's pushed out of bounds. CFL on TSN analyst Stavros Katsantonis.
Yes, sir, is excellent during his stint in the studio. Yeah, maybe we'll have him fill in when Lapo goes off to the Olympics.
There you go. It's an open competition. Stay tuned. As Bell once again drives the legs and once more inside the 25-yard line. Bell is running for all he's worth here this afternoon in Toronto.
Greg Bell finding his groove here in the second quarter of this ball game, along with that Cats offensive line.
155 rushing yards per game over the last 4 contests for Hamilton. This time they'll go aerial. It's Tavares McFadden against Brendan O'Leary Orange, and O'Leary Orange found a way, his 2nd major of the ball game.
A noted ball hawk in this league. Makes his break on the ball, gets his hands in there. But O'Leary Orange at 6'4", just a slightly longer reach. Able to haul that one in for the major.
2 touchdowns on the season coming into today for Brendan O'Leary Orange. Add another 2. He's doubled up his 2025 tally. And that one of tremendous value. So instead of the Toronto Argonauts scoring, getting the football back after the half and scoring again to tighten this one down, it's an interception and a quick strike here to O'Leary Orange.
And here you'll see O'Leary Orange going to work. McFadden with him all the way. Just lost that split second on the turn as the receiver made his break. And he's trying to make up that ground, and that extra couple of inches, quite frankly, proved to be the difference on this play.
And Levi Mitchell probably could have left it a little further out to the sideline, but the veteran knew. You could see the end of the release. He just laid it up there and said, yeah, go get it, Brendan.
Well, Bo has talked before about how he likes those big receivers. You get an indication of why. So Leary Orange posts his second major of this first half. Points off turnovers. A big story here so far.
Absolutely. And think about the usage of the Hamilton Tiger Cats receivers throughout the year. Kenny Lawler, the star, obviously, with 12 touchdowns. Janarian Grant returns this one across the 40-yard line before it looks like Tyler Ternowski got yet another special teams tackle. He's everywhere today. As Jared Daggy comes out and tries to climb back into this one as the studio halftime. Looking forward to seeing what their breakdown will. Again, it's Laura Dyken, Enoch Mwamba, Paul Lapalisse, and Milt Stiegel talking it over for you. But Kenny Lawler, the star, Tim White, ready there, right? Anytime he used.
He's been okay.
Right. Keandre Smith's had a couple of monster games, including a 14-catch outing in BC. He had a great Labor Day Classic game. He had a good start to this game. And all of a sudden, Brendan O'Leary Orange is out here making 2 touchdowns. They are well balanced, especially when Greg Bell gets going. And they can mix and match. There's Daggy. Throws high, and Polk double caught it, but somehow held on before Katsantonis got there as he's fired up by the interception he had. He almost had one earlier on in the ballgame as well.
Yeah, Katsantonis flying around. Mackay Polk looking for a little bit of redemption here. After having that last pick go off his fingertips.
Tim Croker whistles this in. And Julian Hauser digs in. That speed rusher stance, bottom of your screen. Goes with a spin move. Hauser hits Daggy, and it's up for grabs. Peters along the sideline. Defending against Jake Herslow. And it will be incomplete.
Yeah, good to see Jamal Peters back in the ball game. We're seeing him with what appeared to be a stinger-type injury early on, but Julian Hauser had a great spin move to the inside on this when he was right in the face of Jarrett Daggy as the quarterback released that football.
Well, that was on 1st and 10. What does Hauser have lined up for 2nd and 10? Now he knows he can truly get after it as Peters, as you say, back manning that boundary corner position.
Here's that rush personnel again.
Yeah. They go with the 3 DNs. And Philip Osai is the closest there. Is now Dave Unger. Makes the grab in front of Peters at the 45-yard line. Nice pitch and catch that time to Unger.
Yeah, Unger, the 11th overall pick in the 2019 CFL draft by these Hamilton Tiger Cats. It's really found a home here in Toronto. Big grab there to keep the drive alive.
Clock rolling. 10 seconds remaining. Daggy gets hit as he throws. Got absolutely blasted in another big catch. And Jake Herslow somehow held on to that one. But massive collisions on both ends. Flag down on the field as well as the Hamilton Tiger Cat.
Herslow, tremendous concentration there. As he's getting hit from both sides, but unfazed, holding on to the rock.
Hands to face, Toronto number 63. It's 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
That one goes against Sage Dockstader. And so wipe off the tremendous catch by Jake Herslow as Philip Osai just picks himself up off the ground at the end.
Keep an eye on the left guard here, Dockstader number 63. Gets the hands up working against Casey Sales. Sales ensuring that the infraction was detected.
And Osai has taken a seat once again here to get right. And is working on his lower leg. And Ryan Dinwiddie saying this week that he believes in everything that Nick Arbuckle's been able to do for this Toronto offense. Some bad turnovers at times, but everybody in the room believes in him, and it's such a tough spot to be in when you see your starting quarterback who's having a tremendous year in a sling like that.
Yeah, no doubt, and it's one of those we talk all the time, Marsh, about how teams will kind of take their personality, take their cues from their head coach and from their starting quarterback. Yep. And they see a guy like Nick Arbuckle sidelined, particularly on what has become a little bit younger Toronto Argonaut team this season. A lot of new faces as compared to the addition that won the Grey Cup a year ago. So Arbuckle, an important leader for this group.
As Osai heads to the sideline here, but Nick also told us this week, after having that very strange calf injury against Edmonton a few weeks back, he said it was the first game that he had missed since being 7 years old, and he called it the rarest of injuries because he was just essentially standing there through and all of a sudden couldn't move his leg anymore. Had a 3-centimeter tear in the calf, and he was saying, well, I'm going to be back in a month, or I'll be back at this. No. The training staff said, just trust what we're trying to do for you here. He worked to get back, and now you see him there standing on the sideline. So unfortunate for him and for the Argonauts offense, with Chad Kelly likely not to return this season based on the reports that are coming out. And the clock rolls down to zeros. Did they get enough? And did they get it stopped? Or did it run out? And Tim Croker asking players to stay on the benches for now until they can confirm 1 second is left.
Yeah, just
there's 1 second remaining.
And there is.
Yeah, I saw that clock pop back to a second. As the Argos are very fortunate that they'll have a chance to try and put some points on the board here.
Well, in the year of the field goal return, 2025, a big long attempt when you don't have really any momentum. This one is a danger zone for Toronto special teams, unless Liram Hajrullahu can pound it through the uprights, and he does. Hajrullahu, tremendous effort once again, but the Argonauts need much more than the right leg of Hajrullahu in order to get back into this one. Brendan O'Leary, orange. Tremendous effort so far in this ball game as the home run shot just open up the sprinter stance and let it fly as Bo Levi Mitchell throwing vertically once again, but plenty of targets to choose from, and then decided to throw the corner route up as well. And O'Leary Orange made the play on McFadden. One of those great highlights you'll look back on at the end of the season. Right now, O'Leary Orange is with our Matthew Finetti.
Well, Brendan, I guess this is the kind of response that you expected out of your team after last week.
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever you're challenged like that by a team, you got to come out and you bounce back and respond. And I'm glad, we all got the message and we all came out here and playing to the best of our abilities.
One thing Dwayne Ford said is that this offense is very balanced. Your first game with 2 receiving touchdowns. Did you have a sense that you could be contributing a lot more today?
Absolutely. I feel like every game you have that mindset, and you got to attack it downhill with the best attitude. So, we're surrounded by a lot of great playmakers out here, and I'm lucky to do that. So, when the coverage rolls one way, I'm glad to make some plays when a little less going my way.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, Laura, the Argos playoff lives are hanging by a thread. Ticats up 23.
Yeah, after scoring 3 points last week, how about 32 on the board in the first half against the Argos? And in our pregame show, I asked the panel what was their concern level when it came to this Ticats team from 1 to 10, 1 being very and 10, now they're fine. Milt, you were the only one to say that you were concerned, in part because of the Montreal Alouettes and how well they've been playing as of late. Did that change your opinion? Oh, okay, I won't even get the question.
Minus 50-11.
Still minus. The Argos? Do you know what the Argos, who's conducting the Argos halftime speech? Their travel coordinator asked them to play. You want a window or now? Window or now? Apple and a window. It has nothing to do with the Argos. It's those Montreal Alouettes. Alouettes, who got their star quarterback back. And it's good to see these Hamilton Tiger Cats have a good first half, especially after what we saw last week against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. But they're playing against the Argos, and these Argos right now aren't playing well. And you see these players running wide open. That's not the coaches, that's the players. Those are busts by those players. They're not tuned in right now. They're not given that energy that they need to keep themselves in the playoff run. So what I still think about the Hamilton Tiger Cats, what I said before the game, I say the same thing because it's the Montreal Alouettes. It has nothing to do with the Argos. It's all about the Alouettes.
I talked about it was like 8.67. I wasn't overly concerned. A couple of points. Winnipeg Blue Bombers, they're a very difficult team to play at home. So, like, that gives Hamilton people all worried about it. But defensively, I said this team leads the Canadian Football League in taking the football away. And what do? They've got a couple of big takeaways, start the game. The pressure was there early on to go ahead. There's one of your first sacks. We got a couple of interceptions from this unit. Stavros Katsantonis, Jonathan Moxey. That's why this team's going to be successful going down the road, because what they're doing defensively puts them in a position where, hey, you got to hold some of these teams off. You're not going to give up a lot of offensive plays. This is a unit that stops teams from scoring touchdowns, and they are very good taking the football away. Add the rest of the stuff. And Enoch, the other guy I said was really good was our man Greg Bell.
That's right. Greg Bell is also playing a huge role, and that's what I like about this team. And again, we talk about it all the time at length. When you get into the playoffs, you got to be able to run the ball. And the beginning part of this season, this offense was all Kenny Lawler, it was all Bo Levi Mitchell and the rest of the receiving corps. And Greg Bell has been doing a great job. We talked about the 4 games and how successful he was tonight. He's averaged actually the last four games, it was just over 120 yards per game. And tonight he's already at 62 yards and averaging 10.3 yards per carry. He's doing a great job for this team, and he is explosive every time he touches the ball. This is the type of weapon that you need to have as going into the playoffs. Yes, you got Davis Alexander that you got to watch out for, Milt, and I agree with you. The Montreal Alouettes are the tough team and the team that you got to address. But look, they're looking well balanced. They got a strong defense. They got an offense that's also balanced and doing well. That's all you can ask for right now.
Right now, I don't even want to talk to you guys. LD, now, Hamilton Tiger Cats versus the Montreal Alouettes. Who wins?
Where is it?
What are you going to say? Hold on. What are you going to say?
Neutral site. Let's just say neutral site.
What are you going to say? It's a giveaway? It's a
I'm just asking. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Who
they have a chance?
Who went? They have a chance.
Both teams have a chance.
It's like saying I got a chance of growing my hair back. That's not going to happen.
That's not happening anytime soon.
Don't fault Hamilton for playing a 5-game team.
I'm not even talking. Who wins that game right now? Hamilton versus Montreal.
Hamilton.
Hamilton. Yeah. Hamilton wins.
They're going to win that game.
Yeah, either team can win.
Who wins?
Hamilton can win that game.
Who wins? I'm asking you. Not
Hamilton.
Hamilton wins the game?
Yes.
That's who you think can win the game?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
That's right.
I'm just asking.
Who do you think?
Oh, we got to go roll silver. We don't have enough time. Wrap things up.
You can't even say Montreal. It's going to be a good game.
Was the last time that the Grey Cup champion failed to make the playoffs the following season. The Argos, they've got lots of work to do. When we come back, Lapo, you got to wait from us for a little bit. We got Coach's Playbook coming up.
The third and final regular season matchup between the Tiger Cats and the Argonauts. The outside, and he'll walk in. Kenny Lawler continues to victimize the Argos defense. It's an absolute moonshot, and all the way is Brendan O'Leary Orange.
That's very well blocked. Got a little kick out. He stayed right in there. Nice patience.
Battle for second place in the West is our second game of the double dip. The Lions have won 3 in a row. The Stamps have lost 3 in a row. And what's been going on with Vernon Adams Jr.? Time for him to get his mojo back as we turn it over to Lapo and Coach's Playbook.
I looked at the last 3 games of Vernon Adams and what he's been trying to do. There's a lot of issues going on with him. First of all, it starts with his accuracy. Hasn't been great in these last couple of games. So as you look, sometimes you're not going to be accurate as a quarterback. You're going to be in difficult positions to throw the football. Sometimes it's based on pressure. Here he's got a great pocket, place to throw, but just misses this downfield throw. There's a bunch of these uneasy positions, but this is the hardest part, what's going on. Watch this. 2 players on the inside post route. Once that happens, you got to look what's happening. The 2 halfback and corner get depth. You got to throw the ball out here. You don't force it on the inside. When you force it inside, that leads to interception right there, and you've got to be cautious. Trusting your arm's one thing, but making bad decisions another one. Here is a zone read, kind of RPO scheme if you watch this, but the hard part of this RPO is he starts looking to his right as he's looking over here on the fake. Sometimes Vernon throws so fast, he doesn't look at his key read. Beverett drops right into the throwing lane of the slant, leads to that interception, and let's take a look at this one. You know, sometimes when a quarterback scrambles under duress, you just don't want to take that throw here. You got to get that one back. Trying to just make a play, but sometimes you're so late, you're going to put yourself in a bad position, and more importantly, your team in a bad spot. But just throwing it up when you can't see the free safety right there for the interception. Now, the last time these guys played, he had 3 interceptions. One of them was called back because it did hit the goalpost. One of them was a sure-handed drop by Gary Peters right before the half. So he's got to make sure he protects the football. But the other thing, he is big play VA. And for the BC Lions, giving up some of the most explosive plays in the Canadian Football League. 8th most big plays given up. So I'm looking forward to this game.
7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific is when we're on the air for that. Second half coming up. Hamilton in control. Final road game of the season. Looking for their 6th win away from home, which would tie a franchise record.
Whenever you have something really cold and then you get this short, sharp kind of sensation, that's sensitivity. It can get worse. I always recommend Sensodyne, which is specially designed to care for their sensitive teeth. It works.
Okay, Anthony right here. Big smile.
This is Anthony, CIBC client, filmmaker, and orca enthusiast. Yep, orcas. His lifelong ambition? To film them in the wild. Little did he know.
It costs so much money.
Enter Colin, his longtime CIBC advisor. He turned his spending habits into a savings plan, and in 1 year got him to Norway. So he could shoot this and this. What's holding your ambitions back? We're here to help make them happen. CIBC, ambitions made real.
You know those times when you're not drinking, but you really fancy a lovely, cold, smooth Guinness? Well, guess what? Guinness Zero. We've taken the alcohol out, but left the Guinness in.
What makes Special K red berries so special? The 11 vitamins and minerals? Oh, and are those strawberries? Oh, wait, can you go back to the berries? Special K, special for a reason.
With Prime Big Deal Days coming October 7th through the 10th, greatness is a deal away.
Just bust the move.
Shop deals from home to electronics this Prime Big Deal Days.
And your car is ready to go.
Great.
Huh. Did you want to redeem your Canadian Tire money? You've got enough for your oil change to be free.
Wait, I can pay with Canadian Tire money?
Oh, yeah.
What? I can pay with Canadian Tire money?
Rewards for auto service? Feels this good. Earn and redeem Canadian Tire money for auto service. Only in Canada's Garage.
Do the things you want to get done. And then do the things you didn't even know you could do with the fully electric F-150 Lightning.
The numbers after the first half of action here, 32-9. The Argonauts certainly in a hole at this point. And, of course, being able to storm back to the Labor Day Classic, they will need plenty of that magic. Maybe this man could give it to them. Dejan Brissett alongside our Matthew Chinetti.
Dejan, I don't have to tell you what's at stake in the second half. What was the conversation like in the locker room?
Just execute. Offense, we got to do our thing. Defense got to make some plays. Special teams, same thing. But we can't keep putting the defense in a tough position.
How critical is this first series then in the second half?
Definitely. We want to get out there and move the ball, set the tone for the second half.
Appreciate this. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You can imagine Dwayne in the locker room, probably pretty quiet, and a couple of guys stepping up. I would have to imagine maybe a Wynton McManus, like you said, the emotional leader, and going, guys, like we're right here on the. It's time to go. Like we can't put ourselves in a bad situation time after time after time, and turnover is certainly part of that here today.
Yeah, and I think back to the start of the game, and we could kind of hear the Argos in their holding area as they came out of the dressing room prior to introductions, and you heard a lot of talk about laying it all on the line, putting it all out there. This is it. It's one of those do or die moments as far as their 2025 season. There's nothing you're saving it for, and I'm sure that message was echoed at the break.
The Toronto Argonauts giving up the football and giving up plenty of points as well off the turnovers. The Hamilton Tiger Cats, the best in the CFL, at taking advantage of that exact situation. That is the story so far, on top of Nick Arbuckle being out with an injury. As Janarian Grant catches this and dances his way down the sideline, sees a little bit of open grass, and then finally is wrapped up and brought down right out near the 50-yard line. So a positive beginning here for Jared Daggy as he continues to fill in for Arbuckle.
Yeah, and this is one of those things you really hope for when you're playing with a young or less experienced quarterback, trying to put him in a position to succeed, and that means, in terms of the decisions you make with the other phases of your football team, special teams, here providing a short field, relatively speaking, for Daggy to start this second half. Hoping they can build on that.
Daggy completing 65% of his passes coming into today on the season, as he will look to complete this one. He does to Dave Unger, the third, and a first down for Toronto on first down. That always helps, especially early on.
And Daggy, I think, overall, in his time in this ball game, has done a pretty decent job throwing the football, maybe baited, I would say, into the Jonathan Moxey interception. An unfortunate break on the Katsantonis pick.
This time Daggy will turn around and hand it off. As the offensive line for the Argonauts trying to get a push up front. Looks like that's Spencer Brown that gets the carry in between the tackles. Yeah, the arm talent certainly not in question at all for Jared Daggy. It's just decision making and the amount of time it takes for your eyes to adjust, right? Especially when you go in as the backup. It's one of the most difficult things you can possibly do. Hey, 30 seconds after an injury, go.
Yeah, and you and I have talked at length just about the learning curve for quarterbacks in this league. It takes time for guys to develop, and you talk about, I know Lapo talks about seeing those pictures and the time it takes to be able to process.
This pass complete out into the flats, and Brown steps out of bounds. And we had an interesting conversation this week with Scott Milanovic about what is it with quarterbacks that it tells you need to give them more time. And I said, well, follow up. What's the thing that tells you no chance? And both the answers were essentially eyes, because they're connected to feet and decision making and processing and all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Milanovic certainly understands how to cultivate a young quarterback and turn him into something special. He's also said it's no different than having a veteran quarterback like Bo Levi Mitchell in our offense last year. He wasn't seeing it. We had to bench him. As this time they blitz the corner, and it's completed. Herslow is covering down Stavros Katsantonis, the interception earlier on in this ball game. But Herslow gets another touch here on first down.
Yeah, pretty good wrestling match there between Herslow and Katsantonis. One fighting for yards, the other fighting not to give it up. Katsantonis hangs on until a little bit of help comes to secure that tackle. You see this safety close quickly and wrap up, but he's up high, so unable to get Herslow off his feet on his own.
Emptied out this time for Daggy. Looks to throw quick underneath and nearly intercepted, knocked away. And Kyler Fisher all over that one.
And Daggy obviously wanting to get the ball in the hands of Mackay Polk, but you can see how the defense recognizes that. Kyler Fisher starting to cheat out of the box, widening to get underneath that one before Daggy had even turned or started to throw that way.
It's probably the third or fourth time today, Dwayne, that we've seen kind of that curl predictability, right? It's a very vanilla look at this point for Jared Daggy. Well, he's at the control of the offense, and Hamilton's linebackers and defensive backs jumping downhill. Field goal is up and through as Daggy takes another look at it and starts to piece together his plans to try and stage a comeback here in Toronto.
Just a truck? Sure, and hockey's just a game. Ram's not built for just. It's built to win. It's built to race. It's built to last. So is Ram just a truck? Yeah, the same way Canada is just a country. Ram Power Days are here. Get 0% financing for 72 months on both the 2025 Ram 1500 and Ram 2500.
Welcome to the Canadian Football League. Sunday night football matchup between the Pats and the Bills. Put those two guys in. Let's see them battle it out. Catch all the action tomorrow, 8:20 Eastern, 5:20 Pacific on TSN and CTV. During the break, Doug Flutie just absolutely throwing his shoulder out while throwing T-shirts and different sign memorabilia into the stand. Jim's still ripping it. Love it.
I can assure you, Doug doesn't do anything halfway.
No. It was amazing watching them interact with the fans here during the break, having too much fun. As Bully by Mitchell throws this one directly to the bars, McFadden. And McFadden tackled inside the 45-yard line. And Bully by Mitchell just didn't see the second man in coverage and put it in the worst spot possible.
Yeah, even a veteran can be fooled every so often. Bo trying to get that ball out to Kenny Lawler. Lawler closest to the bottom of your screen. You see McFadden sitting inside here. Makes that break to get underneath that route to Lawler. McFadden, the guy who has always had a nose for the football. Sixth interception of the year for Tavares.
Canadian tied for the CFL lead in terms of turnovers created. As Jake Herslow wrapped up from behind. Stavros Katsantonis, as those two have a little mini rivalry going in this ball game. And Moxie trying to state a case that the football was loose.
Yeah, we'll get a look here. Jake Herslow running right into the camera. Yeah, he's down.
Yeah. Not a compelling argument by Jonathan Moxie in that situation.
Yeah. Moxie not happy with the pick that he had in the first half to set up a touchdown, looking for a little more.
Hamilton defense, you heard Paul Athletes talking about it at halftime, trying to get more turnovers. Able to take the rock away and make the most of it. Lafo believes that's what's going to make Hamilton dangerous down the stretch in this CFL season as Mackay Polk makes the grab, down by 20.
And here you see Polk working out of the slot. Once again, drives the defender off and then hooking it up underneath for a completion.
Jared Daggy on 1st and 10. Looks left, comes back, tries to check it down, intercepted. Devin Verasuk has got another in his rookie campaign as there's a flag down on the far side of the field about 35 yards away from where the interception was made.
This one just may bail out the Toronto Argonauts.
And Scott Milanovich's club almost bailed out off the Bo Levi Mitchell interception from a minute ago.
Legal contact on a receiver, Hamilton, number 6. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Extends the drive.
Yeah, you had a sense what was coming when you saw that flag well away from the play.
Just having flashbacks to the days where you could challenge contact downfield. Jared Daggy rolls to his right. Open receiver. Dave Unger next to the end zone. Puts a shoulder down and gets the major for Toronto. Fire the cannons here once again for Dave Unger.
This one will hurt the Hamilton Tiger Cats a little bit more. This is the play before the touchdown. Jonathan Moxey ties up Dave Unger. That's the illegal contact call. And insult to injury. It's Unger who punches in that touchdown to bring the Argos a little bit closer.
How about the little point guard pump fake that time from Jared Daggy, rolling to his right, pumping to nobody, just trying to draw eyes into the flats. 4 plays, 42 yards in under 2 minutes, and Jared Daggy fired up, getting after it here in Toronto.
With Prime Big Deal Days coming October 7th through the 10th, greatness is a deal away.
Just bust the move.
Shop deals from kitchen to electronics this Prime Big Deal Days.
Hello, your cell phone. How can I help?
I need somebody, not just anybody. Won't you please, 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 please help me?
What makes Special K Vanilla Almond so special? The 12 vitamins and minerals? What about the real almonds or that sweet vanilla flavor? Or do good things just come in threes? Special K. Special for a reason.
This Pro Show has those shoes you've been looking for.
What? Bid for me.
Look, you won!
Yes! Can you sell my stuff on there like that?
You can.
I'm gonna make so much money.
Download the Poshmark app to discover all the ways you can buy and sell today.
And here you have Dave Unger is lined up to the top of your screen, outside receiver. He's just going to kind of curl around the corner. Corner's got his eyes inside to the backfield, tucks in behind, and then works back into that open space. Daggy gets on the move, shorten up that throw a little bit. High percentage.
Dave Unger earns his camera time here in Week 18. As Jared Daggy was fired up after that touchdown. Kind of surprised us going to break there. He just, he might only be down 13, but turned around and started barking in the direction of Reggie Stubblefield or anybody else who wanted to get a little bit.
Yeah, looking to drag his team into the fight here, perhaps.
Absolutely, trying to create some energy for the Argonauts. And boy, if they ever use it, try to create some extra momentum. As Hamilton, the interception last time out, Levi Mitchell. If it wasn't intercepted by Tavares McFadden, it was probably going to be intercepted by Drew. They were both in spot to grab it, but maybe trying to force to Kenny Lawler. We thought we'd see a lot of Greg Bell to open up the third quarter.
And I suspect that if Hamilton is able to hold on to the lead, as we progress in this ball game, certainly Greg Bell will continue to be a factor. But, Hamilton came out slinging the ball, and I suspect, again, given last week's outcome against Winnipeg, there may be some of that don't take your foot off the gas mentality here.
And now the snap rolls away from Levi Mitchell, and it'll be second and forever. Greg Bell, 6 carries, 62 yards. I mean, the per-touch clip, pretty sensational. But a mess here at the start of the second half for the Tiger Cats offense.
Yeah, momentum is a funny thing, isn't it? A couple of bad bounces for the Cats and a snap that comes out a little bit low.
Maybe it's just an Argonauts thing because Colton Woodmansey had that on Labor Day as well. And Levi Mitchell was yelling at him, "Hey, Woody, just snap it to me. Like, just send it back to me. Then I can do my job." Russell steps away from pressure. Long way to go, and a wise, savvy veteran takes a seat. But it'll be a 2 and out.
And Mitchell just getting as much as he could to help out his special teams unit here. For the Toronto Argonauts, now within 2 scores. Firmly grasping a little bit of momentum in this ballgame.
Good, rolling downhill a little bit. Hamilton second best in the CFL at not going 2 and out offensively. Just 26% of their drives are 2 snaps and done. But that one was just that, a 48-yard punt. And a tremendous special teams tackle. Flying downhill, Braxton Hill makes the play as the double blue looking to make a little bit of magic here in a comeback. Don't jump! Against the Tiger Cats.
What you doing?
My tooth still hurts.
Go to the dentist.
You know I don't have insurance.
But the Canadian Dental Care Plan is here. If your family income is under $90,000 and you don't have dental insurance, you might qualify.
So no more frozen peas?
The Canadian Dental Care Plan is helping millions of Canadians access the dental care they need. A message from the Government of Canada.
Now you can shop smarter at Canadian Tire. With same-day pickup or same-day delivery. So you don't have to shelve projects for later. Shop smarter at Canadian Tire.
Monopoly Double Play at McDonald's is almost here. With millions of prizes to be won. Get ready to peel like a winner.
Let me see that thumb. Yeah!
Less scroll, more vibes. However you spice.
When Janelle asked the web for motion sickness remedies, Carlos from St. Catharines replied, lay flat on your back and take some deep breaths. That's when Nora in Winnipeg said, I trust Gravol. For fast, effective relief from nausea, trust Gravol. Proudly Canadian.
Nick Arbuckle having a tremendous season for the Toronto Argonauts offense, and against the odds, he's been able to rack up stat after stat after stat. He stayed in the lineup, but today it went sour real quick after just one incompletion. He took this hit and has been in a sling ever since.
Yeah, scrambling to his left, that blindside hit from Philip Osai working back upfield on his rush. Arbuckle goes down hard on his throwing shoulder. Has been in a sling, just only able to provide moral support at this point.
Jared Dagny, his replacement, receiving said moral support. As he rips it to the sideline, Dave Unger with the touchdown just a moment ago. And it gets popped out of bounds there by Reggie Stubblefield. But Arbuckle returned last week after a game on the sidelines, threw for 281 yards and a touchdown. He's the only quarterback with at least 8 starts to have a touchdown pass in every start so far this year. And he's trying to get up around that 5,000-yard mark. The only people to do that, Damon Allen, Ricky Ray, and some guy named Doug Flutie that's lingering somewhere down below us here on the sideline where Arbuckle unfortunately is watching from. Aggie on 2nd and 5. Loads it up, thought about throwing it right out of time. Takes a seat thanks to Casey Sales.
Casey Sales, one of the veteran leaders in this Hamilton Tiger Cats defense. The guy who has been the sort of the one consistent presence in the defensive line over the last few seasons. Working that little loop to the outside there. Long way for Anthony Vandal to go to chase him.
Frustration evident on Vandal's face as Hamilton comes after the punt here. Tyler Ternowski, they tried to dial up another one just like Labor Day to get him a block. As now Wooden, after a 60-yard punt, It's wrapped up and thrown down, but Casey Sales, tremendous talent, quiet but solid leader on that defensive line with so many bodies coming and going. Sales makes the play here in Toronto.
Get Advil Liquid Gels for fast and effective relief. And conquer your tough pain and fevers with the power of Liquid Fast Relief. Try Advil Liquid Gels and get Liquid Fast Relief.
We are made in Canada. Homegrown, Canadian-owned and operated. We're neighbors, friends, family. We're more than just made in Canada. We're a fabric of Canada.
Honey!
Yeah?
Can you check if my phone's in the car?
Yes, I can. But, oh!
Fix Auto. The first words that should come to mind after an accident.
The journey to the CFL playoffs, never a straight line, and the Hamilton Tiger Cats took a major detour last week with more. Here's Matthew Shinetti.
And one thing that Kenny Lawler, Bo Levi Mitchell, and Scott Milanovich were explaining to us, Marshall, over the course of the week is the kind of punishment the Winnipeg Blue Bombers applied to their backsides. Now, coming into this game, though, we asked them this week, yourself, myself, and obviously Dwayne, about what kind of reaction that they were going to get in that Ticats locker room. Milanovich and Bo Levi Mitchell, in their experience, both told us there's not a lot of finger pointing, not a lot of raised emotions. They understand that over the course of the next few weeks, they feel like they're going to need 2 wins to secure that East final. Really, the feeling is now that Davis Alexander is back for the Montreal Alouettes, that the Alouettes aren't going to do the Ticats any favors. But the one thing that Bo Levi Mitchell said to me when talking about the way he uses his voice at this point in his career, that it's not about saying things all the time, that he has to feel something in his stomach. And when he's talked about a message that he wanted to give to his team, I don't care about being first. I want to be a better team, and I want to dominate on the way.
Yeah, interesting comment from Bo, right? Because he understands that here comes the playoff picture of what things look like and what seed we're going to be on. He said, I don't care how we go in. We need to be playing better football than we did last week.
Yeah, and this is the understanding of a veteran, right? You hear people in this league talk all the time about the final third of the season and the importance of how you're playing over your last 6 games. It's not so much about your 18-game record, but your momentum in the last 6. And Bo Levi Mitchell wasn't happy, as I'm sure no one in Tiger Town was last week. They want to get this train back on the track.
DeAndre Smith trying to do that for them. Looks like he'll come out just shy on 2nd down. Yeah, being able to go in, I mean, obviously you'd love to have a home playoff game. You'd love to have, the advantage of the East Final, your place in the bye week. But Bo said there's been times where we've had to keep playing, and sometimes it feels better. It's dependent upon the group. It's not always a straight line.
Yeah, and, it's an interesting thing when you look at the Hamilton Tiger Cats situation, their trends during the season and so on. And, I think a lot of the concern to me from a Hamilton point of view after the loss last week was when you look at Hamilton's season, when they've lost. Start of the season, they lose 1, that turns into 2 in a row. Middle of the season, they lose 1, that turns into 3 in a row. At this stage of the season, you couldn't let one loss become multiple. So certainly their start to this game was encouraging. They got to keep it going here in the second half, though.
All set as Janarian Grant catches this punt from Nick Constantino inside his own 35-yard line. Gets wrapped up and thrown down as Hamilton's next matchup at home next Saturday, 3 p.m. against the Calgary Stampeders. And it actually reminds me of Bo saying that he doesn't always need to talk. He just needs to be able to say the right thing at the right time. When we were chatting with Bob Slowick of the Calgary Stampeders, and he said Jimmy Johnson, that was his whole thing. I don't always talk. I don't have to stand in front of the team every week and give a speech. It's just when I have something to say, I say it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Maybe something Jared Daggy could learn from as he moves forward as well.
Yeah, much more impactful that way when you pick your spots. Make it meaningful.
Devin Verisak, the standout rookie, stares down Daggy. Journeyman during his NCAA football career. And now calling Toronto home as he throws a slant route. Big collision there. Is that Katsantonis again or Talbot downhill? But Dejon Brissett continues to take a beat and keep on ticking.
Yeah, you see Brissett working into the middle here. Katsantonis coming downhill. Little bumper cars there.
Katsantonis packs a punch despite not being the biggest guy. All 5'9", 193, and Stavros is on every part of the turf here today at BMO Field. Is now Daggy with Osai right in his face, throws into a tight window, and it is complete. Being wrapped up and pulled backwards, but refusing to go down. It is Dejon Brissett once again.
You know, and give credit to the Toronto Argonauts. You know, in their fight here in this ball game. You know, we've talked about Chad Kelly being out of the lineup. Now Nick Arbuckle being out of the lineup. For a team that wants to throw the football, but DeMonte Coxie out of the lineup. Tavares Daniels out of the lineup. I mean, this has been an uphill battle, and people stepping up. Dejon Brissett certainly has been one of those who has grown.
Coxie watching on from the sidelines. Here is a tackle for loss. Philip Osai. Tremendous effort flying off the edge and throwing Spencer Brown backwards.
Yeah, Julian Hauser is, the veteran, the guy everybody knows on this Hamilton Tiger Cats defensive line, but the combination of Philip Osai, who you're going to see on this play, Jose Ramirez as well, who's been in that D-line rotation, particularly in passing situations. They've got some dudes coming off the edge now for this Hamilton team.
And a variety of packages as well, using them in different and interesting ways. Is down once again, and did the ball pop out? Oh, we got the big man. And he'll lateral it. It's into Castro, back to Herslow. And Katsantonis somehow is there at the end of the play once again. Probably about 40 yards away from where he began. But Jared Daggy got wrapped up and ball came popping out.
Well, Philip Osai, who has been everywhere today, number 46, right in the middle of your screen. With the inside rush. Sack and a forced fumble.
Was to Castro getting on as Hairolahu once again with the big leg from distance, 52 yards away. Lirim is good. Nearing the fourth quarter. And Toronto crawling their way back into this one. Really at this point through their defense for the most part, just being able to slow down Hamilton's pass explosive.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, Toronto obviously would love to put up some sevens. And not just the threes, but chipping away at that lead, now down to 10 points here in the second half.
You can feel the sense of urgency from the Hamilton sideline and in the huddle here offensively for Bo Levi Mitchell as he goes back to work with Tim White in motion. Mitchell, the tight end Giovanni Robinson. Gets the ball on the outside arm and runs through Cameron Judge, who pushes him out of bounds. 19 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and it'll be another first down for the Tiger Cats.
Yeah, easy high percentage completion here. Robinson lines up as the right tight end, just free release. Straight to the flat. We've seen a lot of running of the football off that look, so Robinson ends up unaccounted for in the period of coverage. Easy completion and first down for Hamilton.
That's their second first down of this third quarter for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. It has been stagnant. Levi Mitchell, what should be the final play of the quarter, goes over the top to the big man, trying to drop it in to the bucket. One of the taller buckets you'll ever see in the Canadian Football League. But incomplete in the sun here as it fades on BMO Field. As the Tiger Cats lost by 37 points last week to Winnipeg, only gave up one passing touchdown against the Bombers today. Much different story. But the Argonauts have some momentum headed to the fourth, where Hamilton has dominated on the scoreboard this season.
We see it. Severe weather is here. But so are the 160,000 people who work in Canada's insurance industry, helping you protect and reopen the things we love.
What makes Special K red berries so special? The 11 vitamins and minerals? Oh, and are those strawberries? Oh, wait. Can you go back to the berries? Special K. Special for a reason.
With Prime Big Deal Days coming October 7th through the 10th, greatness is a deal away.
Just bust the move.
Shop deals from home to electronics this Prime Big Deal Days.
When your back hurts, life hurts. Roback's dual action formula relieves pain and relaxes tight muscles. Take back your back with Robax.
Practice starts in 20. Let's get it. T-Mac.
Who shaves for practice?
My game face doesn't take days off with Gillette Labs. Its green bar releases trapped hairs, so you can get virtually every hair in a single stroke.
That's smooth.
The best your game can get is Gillette Labs.
KFC's $12 meal for two. 2 pieces of original recipe, get 2. Popcorn chicken, make it 2. And fries, get 2, too. The $12 meal for 2, a finger-licking good deal. Only at KFC.
The numbers after 3 quarters of play here in Toronto, just a 10-point ball game at this point, Dwayne.
Yeah, and the Hamilton Tiger Cats kind of letting things slip a little bit in that third quarter, unable to generate big plays or sustain drives themselves as the Toronto Argonauts started to find their way a little bit with Jared Dagey at the helm.
In the fourth quarter, Hamilton has been special this season. When it comes to scoring, points for and against, plus 47, the differential, and 154 points scored of their 423 on the year. That is 36.4% of their points in a single quarter. That's the most of any team in any quarter. They've been really good at closing down games, but you keep in mind, you get into these punch-counterpunch games against the Toronto Argonauts, and right, you never know.
Yeah, could go either way, but, you know, I mean, going along with that, this was a statistic that you had brought to my attention during the week as we're prepping for the game. It was Hamilton in the fourth quarters, and I believe the biggest differential in points for and allowed for any team in a quarter this season. But Hamilton also the team that has played more close games than anybody.
Levi Mitchell begins the fourth quarter looking to throw, and into a tight window he finds Keandre Smith running free through coverage. There are 6 defenders there within about 5 yards of Keandre Smith at the end of that play, but Bo found the perfect spot to put the rock.
Well, and on cue, this fourth quarter team has their biggest play of a, to this point, quiet second half. Just as the fourth quarter begins, Keandre Smith, you know, he's right there along with Kenny Lawler as a noted Argo killer. Comes up with that big grab, had his first career 100-yard game back in 2023 against the Argos.
I think Keandre being as Wynton McManus actually down at the end of the play there, making his way back to the sideline. But yeah, the big day he had on Labor. What do you think Dad thinks of Keandre being an Argo killer?
Well, you know, Dad spent a little bit of time in both uniforms, right? Started off as a Tiger Cat, spent much of his career as an Argo. Adrian Smith, terrific DB in the CFL for a dozen years. And his kid's not bad either.
That makes sense, because Keandre's got a little bit of that DB mentality. He likes to talk. He's always fired up. He's also the Jake Goddard Award nominee from the Hamilton Tiger Cats going into award season here. Already in October. Hard to believe week 18 of the CFL season. Bo decides to punt. Kenny Lawler in the end zone. Touchdown Tiger Cats. Bo to 89. 13th touchdown of the season for Kenny Lawler, and 7 of them have come against Toronto.
Where Lawler comes free is right about there as Bo Levi Mitchell has that pump fake. It looks like the play is maybe breaking down a little bit. Everybody freezes and Kenny Lawler just keeps running. And the Mitchell to Lawler magic, particularly against the Toronto Argonauts, continues here.
17 of 23 for Bo Levi Mitchell and 4 touchdowns here on the day. He came in leading the CFL with 28. Bo Levi Levi Mitchell, one of the legends of the Canadian Football League, gets a little dab, little celebration from another all-time great. Doug Flutie in on the celebrations for the black and gold here in Toronto.
KFC's $12 meal for two. 2 pieces of original recipe, get 2. Popcorn chicken, make it 2. And fries, get 2, too. The $12 meal for 2, a finger-licking good deal. Only at KFC.
Just a truck? Sure, and hockey's just a game. Ram's not built for just. It's built to win. It's built to race. It's built to last. So is Ram just a truck? Yeah, the same way Canada is just a country. Ram Power Days are here. Get 0% financing for 72 months on both the 2025 Ram 1500 and Ram 2500.
When pain stops you in your tracks, try new Voltacare Cooling Cream with 4 pain-fighting ingredients. And get fast cooling pain relief. New Voltacare Cooling Cream.
I'll take a look at this latest touchdown. Now, just be aware, Kenny Lawler, he's just going to run. So keep that in the back of your mind. The guy you're going to watch, Ante Litre, is going to leak out of the backfield. He's the check down option for Bo Levi Mitchell. And everybody on the field, including Bo right there, thinks that that's where the ball is going. To Litre on the check down. Look at the defenders all coming downhill on that. Kenny Lawler, he just keeps running. Bo recognizes Lawler's in space and is, never mind the check down. Let's air this thing out.
Reminiscent of when we were here back in week 5 and Bo had 5 touchdown passes, and one of them, Dwayne, I remember you saying, he just kind of looked up and said, well, Kenny's down there somewhere. I'll just throw it to the sky, and I'm sure that 89 will go find it.
I mean, this has always been an element of Bo Levi Mitchell's game. Put the ball up. Give your receivers a chance to go make a play. And he seems to have found a perfect partner in crime in number 89.
Bo loves playing the Argos, and Bo loves playing at BMO Field, apparently, because they say there's 5 touchdowns here earlier this year. Now he's got 4 already. We've still got 13 and a half minutes remaining in the ball game. So Jared Daggy tries to answer back, but pressure is on, and wrapped up, thrown down at the bottom of the pile. Is that outside? No, it's Ramirez that got around the edge.
And the Hamilton Tiger Cats defensive line getting after Jared Daggy a little bit. This is Ramirez. We mentioned him earlier, former 6th-round pick of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, an outside linebacker, nonetheless an edge rusher in their scheme. Spent a couple years on their PR. Released at the end of camp this year, and the Cats couldn't wait to get this guy in black and gold.
2nd and 16. Daggy throws it up down the middle of the field, and Katsantonis steals it away once again. He'll go for a run, get a couple of blocks, and he's wrapped up just outside the 20-yard line. But you knew right away, down the middle of the field, bit of a lackadaisical release, and Daggy helmet off already, while Katsantonis celebrates.
And this is what happens when you start getting consistent pressure on a young quarterback. Katsantonis, the safety right in the middle of the field. And he's just going to sit back there and wait. But Daggy's had that defensive line flashing in his face all day, so he's in a little bit of a hurry to get that ball out of his hands before the pressure closes in. Looking for Kevin Mittal down the pipe. Stavros Katsantonis shuts her down.
Can Bo Levi Mitchell match his 5-touchdown performance from earlier this year on this exact same piece of grass? Has an opportunity now as he'll begin by handing it off to Greg Bell. Cameron Judge chases it down from behind. What an athletic play by a man that's sure to be in the all-CFL discussion.
Yeah, this is a tremendous effort from Judge. As initially this is looking like just the patience of Greg Bell is going to pay off, and he's going to take this out around the right side. Starts off to the left, pauses, kind of patient, letting the blocking scheme develop. He's got to go. Watch Cameron Judge just run this down from the backside before Bell has a chance to accelerate.
Goes for a gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
7 looking to have their voices heard here. Sending those backers. Dozier, as you said, the man who finds his way home. Cameron Judge had a great bull rush off the edge there on Greg Bell as well.
Mark Leggio from 33 yards away for number 33. And never in doubt. Hamilton extends their advantage, headed towards another 50-point outing.
At Wayfair, we bring style to every get-together. Oh, they brought wings.
You mean these wingback chairs? Dive in, everyone. We brought plenty.
We brought the sides.
Everybody remember to leave room.
Yeah, bring that over here.
We brought the ranch.
Ooh, that looks like it's fresh from the farmhouse.
Wings and ranch? Now it's a party.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
With Prime Big Deal Days coming October 7th through the 10th, greatness is a deal away.
Just bust the move.
Shop deals from kitchen to electronics this Prime Big Deal Days.
Monopoly Double Play at McDonald's is almost here. With millions of prizes to be won. Get ready to peel like a winner.
Your best defense against erosion and cavities is strong enamel. Nothing beats it. Pro Enamel Active Shield actively strengthens the enamel to defend against erosion and cavities. I think that this product is a game changer for my patients. It really works.
Back to BMO Field is the Toronto Argonauts. Not the sweetest of days, but having fun regardless.
Yeah, you never go wrong with Sweet Carolina, you know?
Great game day experience here at BMO Field. Sun's out, plenty of energy in the city. And Hamilton taking advantage right now as Jared Daggy trying to find some and almost had the ball pop out from behind. Julian Hauser carving the edge as always.
Well, Julian Hauser may be a little tired of the young guys getting the accolades here. The veteran coming from the far right side of your screen. Working around the edge. He's against the newcomer at tackle, Hampton Ergel. Just gets him deep and manages to come around that corner.
5-minute advantage, time of possession right now for Toronto, but not getting enough out of it here in the fourth quarter as Jared Daggy being consistently harassed. And now stares down 2nd and 20. Try to run a little double move outside, and they'll check it down, dropped, incomplete.
Spencer Brown, I think knowing he had a long way to go to get to the first down, got his eyes upfield before he had caught that football.
Crowd just shy of 20,000 here in Toronto today. Watching their Argonauts try to find a way to stay alive in the playoff picture, sitting at 5-10 on the year. But Hamilton 24 points off turnovers. Leading the CFL in turnover margin as well coming in. Where the Tiger Cats is a 45-yard punt, and the ball pops out. Speaking of turnovers, and did Toronto just get the football back? They did. Ripped it out at the end of the play. Jack Kassar comes out celebrating. Boney by Mitchell is ready to hit the field, but we'll have to stay on the sidelines for now. Isaiah Woods senior. Caught in the wash. Jack Cassar ripping on the ground. Toronto possession.
Isn't it nice when things are as good as gold? You know, when your fave spot is always nice. And your usual? Perfect. If dating matches always match there, oh, hello. And all your friends arrived right on. As for your investments, imagine if everything was as good as gold.
With Prime Big Deal Days coming October 7th through the 10th, greatness is a deal away.
Just bust the move.
Shop deals from home to electronics this Prime Big Deal Days.
You know those times when you're not drinking, but you really fancy a lovely, cold, smooth Guinness? Well, guess what? Guinness Zero. We've taken the alcohol out, but left the Guinness in.
Sponge towels. Nothing absorbs like it.
CFL returns tonight as the Stampeders take on the Lions. Catch all the action 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TSN as Matthew Betts just on a tear. Did the math this week. If you put together all of the sacks over the last month or so of the season, Matthew Betts, if he had that pace the whole year, he'd be on for like 54 sacks in the season. Just ridiculous what Betts is doing out there.
Yes. Defensive line version of a heater from Matt Betts.
He has been coming on. We had a fun conversation with him a couple of weeks ago. It's one of the most monotone, stone cold killers. Then he gets on the field and lets his play do the talking. Daggy on 1st and 10 goes away from the pressure. Hamilton was blitzing coming out of the break there. Mackay Polk makes another grab. As we get a look at why Toronto has possession of the football right now. There you see Jack Cassar watching on.
Yeah, Cassar, as Wooden gets tied up, he's all about that football. You see him ripping like he's trying to start a lawnmower in there. Pops the ball out. Argos get on top of it. The Pride of Lorne Park Secondary School and Carleton University. The big play.
Derek Parrish appreciates his work watching on the bench. And now, right through the middle of traffic, Dejan Brissett finally brought down. Took a bit of a pop there at the end of the play as well. But Brissett having a really nice game here this afternoon. As we said, filling in so many different roles and just helping them move the sticks on plays like that.
Yeah, and really embracing his role as a leader. Now again, Brissett drafted back in 2020. Now in his 5th Canadian Football League season and some veterans out of the lineup.
Daggy on 1st and 10. Should have been picked off by Devin Veresuk. Read it the whole way as they were trying to fit it into a real tight window to Kevin Mittal.
Yeah, Veresuk. Going to see the linebacker. He's going to get out under that number 3 receiver. A couple of former U Sports stars involved in that one. Veresuk from the University of Windsor, Kevin Mittal from the Laval Rouge-et-Or.
Veresuk proving to be an excellent pick at 2nd overall for this Hamilton defense. They try to get a stop on 2nd and 10. Daggy takes the check down underneath, and Veresuk gives chase. Looks like Stubblefield is the one to get there as well. As the Hamilton defense today, 3 interceptions against the Toronto team, who had 3 interceptions in their last 2 games. And we saw 3 last night by the Saskatchewan Roughriders off of Drew Brett. What's going on all of a sudden? He's getting picked off in triples.
Yeah, 'tis the season.
As the offense stays on and Brett Monson sends in the call. Daggy looking for the cross route underneath Kevin Mittal. Old reliable. Stays on his feet, breaks to a tackle. Touchdown Argos. And boots it into the stands at BMO.
receiver. Physically looks more like a running back and runs like it too, refusing to go down. Fighting his way into the end zone as the Argos on that third down gamble. Situation they've been forced into by the quick start to the fourth quarter for Hamilton.
And Natal, as the flag looks like it'll be offside against Jonathan Moxey. Flying across the line. Probably was close enough to block that, but decided to call it off.
Offside, Hamilton. That 5-yard penalty would be applied on the kickoff. The convert is good.
Natal telling us this week, grew up playing running back until high school, plays receiver now, but has the mentality of a running back, and then just in his wonderful French-Canadian accent said, I like physicality.
Yes.
I think he was right, man.
Multi-talented player, and a young guy who's just eager to learn. He talked about all the veterans around him and how he tries to take things from each of those guys, just watching and learning. And it looks like those lessons have served him well here in his sophomore season in the Canadian Football League. Argo's second leading receiver so far this year, behind only DeMonte Coxey.
Had a bit of a slow day, but certainly once you get the football in his hands, as he's done so many times this year, get a sense that he can do pretty much anything with it.
Yeah, as you see him, Sean Johnson had passed him for the league lead in receptions in Saskatchewan's win last night, but Natal getting back into a tie in that category and trying to help pull his team back into this ball game with just under 7 minutes to go.
Drifting kickoff here, falls short at around the 25-yard line, and Hamilton will just get what they can in this spot. So now it's the Tiger Cats needing to answer offensively. Braxton Hill slow up onto his feet on special teams work there, but let's climb back up with Levi Mitchell, I'm sure with plenty of instructions coming into the helmet from Scott Milanovic.
Oh, no doubt. We talked a little bit earlier in this ball game just about, talking to Scott Milanovic about the development of quarterbacks and coaching quarterbacks, et cetera. And you think about some of the guys he's helped find almost that second wind in their careers, both being the most recent, but Ricky Ray in Toronto, Anthony Calvillo in Montreal.
Mitchell reaches to the sidelines, and White makes the grab. It was funny to hear Milanovic, though, being, as always, with us, very honest this week. And he said, well, people try to give me credit for, Cody Fajardo. He's like, I didn't spend enough time with Cody. I didn't get to know him enough as a player. He said, everybody wants to credit me for that one, too. But there are a long list of players that have benefited from working with that man.
Yeah, no question about that.
Mitchell with the Tiger Cats muddle huddle, what they've used so much this season. Home or away, doesn't matter. Commands the line of scrimmage and gets everybody organized. Looks to throw quick over the middle, and no flag down. Looked like Keandre Smith got wrapped up on by Brandon Dozier. And the universal sign for asking the coaches to take a look at it. Milanovic says, yeah, I got it, don't worry.
Scott Milanovic with that flag. Smith is coming from the top right corner of your screen, working underneath. And maybe that right arm was around the waist a little bit early as Smith made his break.
And Milanovic and the coaching staff still taking a look at it upstairs, talking it through, letting the play clock burn down as well. And will Milanovic just work the clock here?
Veteran move.
It's almost like when Belichick decided to take those multiple runoffs of the clock in the punting situation before he left New England. Everybody was going, what is he doing? Oh, he just understands the clock better than us. Got it.
Hamilton is challenged on the previous play for pass interference.
Well, the Ticats and challenges this year 0 for 4. And in case you're wondering, yes, it is week 18. 4 challenges. Now just the 5th thrown on the season. That's the fewest in the CFL in 2025.
Yeah, watch the right side of your screen here. Smith coming underneath. And it's that right arm of Dozier that's a little bit concealed, but you can just see, looks like he's got it around the waist. So there's the receiver in question, Keandre Smith. Initial contact just within 5 yards, but he lingers. You could make an argument sort of propelling himself around the receiver while impeding the Hamilton player.
Yeah, important to note that 5-yard window where the first bump does happen, because I'm sure if you're a Tiger Cats fan, whether you're here or not, you're watching this and going, he's on the whole way. Well, inside 5, it's fine. We'll get the call here from our referee, Tim Croker.
After the guy, the replay center, the reeling on the field stands. Hamilton, a legal challenge, lost the timeout.
Just to be clear, Scott Milanovich did not agree with the call.
Or Keandre Smith. Now 0 for 5 are the Tiger Cats on challenges. So they played the clock game, let it burn. Now they get to let it roll once again after the failed challenge. Leading 42-29. Always high scoring between these two teams this season. This is the third and final matchup of the regular season. The question is, will Toronto be able to extend their playoff hopes after a 50-yard punt? A decent return by Janarian Grant, but just couldn't get around the edge. And the Tiger Cats defense that has had a dominant pass rush here this afternoon and 3 interceptions to boot retakes the field.
Blistering start to the fourth quarter by the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Not a surprise given that trend this season. You figure the Toronto Argonauts had this down to a 10-point game at the end of the third. The Hamilton Tiger Cats very quickly doubled that within the first 5 minutes of this fourth quarter.
Due in large part, of course, to turnovers and then taking advantage of those turnovers, which makes Hamilton an extremely dangerous team in the playoffs. And they put together all 3 phases, and the pass rush is home again. Unblockable, Julian Hauser.
Well, the flurry continues from this Tiger Cat defensive line. Julian Hauser, right side of your screen from his defensive end position. I've seen him work this spin move magnificently a couple of times, getting to the inside. 3rd sack of the day.
And 6 for the Tiger Cats defense now is they have been getting after this front for the Argonauts. Daggy feeling the pressure. No, runs backwards into his own end zone. And it's the 7th sack of the game. Make it a safety as well.
Philip Osai. Like a shark smelling blood in the water. He's on that left defensive end. Just good use of the hands. You know, Ryan Hunter trying to recover, doesn't realize, because he can't see his quarterback starting to scramble back into the right. Changes that angle for you as a blocker. Defensive player can see it, redirects, and gets home. And here you'll see, just as Daggy starts to scramble, Hunter thinks that basically that he's going to be pushing him past the throwing point, pushing him deep past where the quarterback is, but the quarterback is gaining depth trying to scramble there. And Osai ends up getting to his man again.
You tell me you're intrigued by Ramirez. Well,
yeah, both these guys.
It's just
Philip Osai is a guy that I had highlighted in the starting lineup tonight, basically. You know, another one of those guys who's been not just today, but 4 sacks for him since, you know, kind of mid-August when he gets into the lineup. But he has been a monster in this one.
Brent Mott's defensive coordinator appreciates this effort. It began with the big hit on Nick Arbuckle that sent number 4 to the sidelines, and Osai continued working against Hampton Ergo at that left tackle spot. It just hasn't stopped. It is relentless.
Yeah, 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a safety.
Just one of the worst feelings as a quarterback, running backwards into your own end zone only to get blown up. Tough spot for Jared Daggy right now when the pass rush is flying around like this. But Hamilton's defense coming into tonight, second best in the CFL. Getting a sack on 15% of pass rush snaps. That number is going to go up significantly after this afternoon.
Part of the challenge for, again, a Toronto Argonaut team that hasn't had a strong run game this season. You know, particularly at this stage of a ball game where they're trying to get points in a hurry. So obviously they're going to be even more committed to throwing the football, and a Hamilton defense that has some guys who are just built to get after it.
Toronto came in allowing 42 sacks on the season. That was 8 out of the 9 CFL teams. They've given up 7 today alone. The next time a Toronto quarterback gets brought down, it will be the 50th sack allowed of the season.
Yeah, an offensive line that has battled injuries, you know, playing with a lot of young guys. And, you know, it's a position where, you know, we talk about the development curve for quarterbacks. That same thing for offensive linemen doesn't get talked about enough. You know, and particularly when you look at an era in the Canadian Football League where there aren't a lot of padded practices. I mean, there's no half speed come game day.
A lot of long stairs right now on that Argonaut sideline, just trying to find a way to get the wheels turning in the right direction. Toronto needing a win to prevent the crossover as they make the play here on 2nd and 4. Levi Mitchell handing off to Greg Bell. The Ottawa lost to Saskatchewan last night. Toronto trailing right now. The crossover extremely close to getting locked in. For the first time since 2016-17-19 as well. To have a team from the West make the journey east, the Eastern semifinal.
The crossover.
Gordon White sends it back to Nick Constantino, who absolutely hammers the football all the way down to the 12-yard line. 51-yard punt. Janarian Grant unable to get free. Special teams unit for the Tiger Cats coverage have been on it today. One of those dangerous returns the CFL shut down, and Philip Osai ready to go back to work.
Everybody wants super straight, super white teeth. They want that Hollywood white smile. New Sensodyne Clinical White provides 2 shades whiter teeth and 24/7 sensitivity protection. I think it's a great product. It's going to help a lot of patients.
With Prime Big Deal Days coming October 7th through the 10th, greatness is a deal away.
Just bust the move.
Shop deals from kitchen to electronics this Prime Big Deal Days.
What makes Special K Vanilla Almond so special? The 12 vitamins and minerals? What about the real almonds or that sweet vanilla flavor? Or do good things just come in threes? Special K. Special for a reason.
Whether you have a full crew, a +1, or if you're headed out solo, with a Jeep, you'll always have a partner in adventure. Jeep Adventure Days are back. Right now, you can get 0% financing for 72 months on a first-class Adventurer, the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee, or get 0% financing for 72 months plus $2,000 in bonus cash on the tech-savvy and trail-rated 2025 Jeep Compass. Don't let the Jeep Adventure Days pass you by.
Plenty of interceptions up for grabs. They began with Jared Daggy having this one thrown into a small spot, got bounced around, and Stavros Katsantonis was on it, and then from there it only got worse for the Toronto quarterback.
Yeah, that was the first of 2 for Katsantonis in this ball game. Jonathan Moxey also with an INT in the first half that would set up a Hamilton Tiger Cat touchdown. The defense definitely setting the table for their offensive counterparts here today.
Inside the 3-minute warning. Fourth quarter, week 18 between these two teams, and Julian Hauser won't go away. He got another one. And he's asking, is that 4? Yes! Yes, Julian, you can count.
I think Julian Hauser is just checking. How many did Betts get in that game?
These guys are competitive. That's going 4, 2, and 3. And now Julian Hauser with a 4-pack of his own quarterback takedowns. And the Hamilton Tiger Cats against Toronto this season have scored 51 points. 33 points in the Labor Day Classic, and here they are bringing them down over and over and over again with 44 points on the board.
Well, you know, last year Julian Hauser was a Calgary Stampeder, Jared Daggy and Edmonton Elk. I'm not sure if they ever met in a Battle of Alberta, but the two definitely becoming familiar with one another here today in the Battle of Ontario.
Check down underneath, swatted down at the line, Casey Sales, and this Tiger Cats defensive line finding every possible way to disrupt Jared Daggy.
A rather ferocious effort from the Hamilton defensive line in this ballgame.
You mentioned Hauser being in Calgary as well. I know the timelines don't match up because nobody knew if Falarn or Imolade was going to get hurt and all the rest, but Lorenzo Malden getting moved Ottawa to Calgary to fill that void. Man, if Hauser was in Calgary and healthy, that's alternate timelines and all these things. Is another hit on the quarterback, but this pass complete. Spencer Brown catching it in the flats. And how did he get around the corner this time, Dwayne?
Let's take a look on the Hauser cam. Just a quick hand slap around the edge.
Love chatting to Julian a couple years ago where I said, you seem like a guy who probably played every single sport imaginable. He's like, yep, entire time growing up, trying to bend the edge once again. Little underneath check. And Brown going to lean forward and just barely get the first down. But yeah, Hauser's one of those guys you can tell from the way that he moves and pass rushes and bends the edge. It's like, so what sport did you not play?
And a guy who has been in his football career, kind of a multi-position guy.
Daggy thought about throwing off balance into traffic. And Katsantonis right there once again is now Mackay Polk. A little slow to get back onto his feet. Thankfully, he does.
Yeah, Polk is going to head to the sidelines favoring that right shoulder. We mentioned already some of the injuries in the Argo receiving corps. I know Dave Ungerer was a game-time decision today as well. Ill afford to lose Mackay Polk.
Staff talking to Polk as he's obviously in some pain. And now Daggy has that one chased down by Stubblefield.
Yeah, the hash marks are a little closer together, but that wide side throw still gives a rangy defender some time to react and get out there. Reggie Stubblefield showing off his anticipation and quickness to get a hand on that one.
Daggy on 3rd and 10 from his own 45. Unable to step into it. Stavros Katsantonis with the triple of takeaways. Thought about lateraling in. Katsantonis will keep that one. Put the tape on the ball. Sign it. And he's got a keepsake forever. 3 of them.
Katsantonis with the interception hat trick. Just eyeing up the quarterback. Able to detect where he's going with the ball, and he gets in that lane in a
that the back end of this Hamilton defense profiting from the relentless pressure up front because the spirit just feels broken. And Jared Dexter can't step into throws, can't move around the pocket. And Katsantonis and his ability to read situations, doing everything he can to take advantage. As Bo Levi Mitchell, dominant in his career against the Toronto Argonauts, remains in the ball game. We'll hand it off to Greg Bell. Inside is clock rolling towards a minute remaining at the 44-29 advantage, and yet another takeaway for this Hamilton defense.
They've assembled an interesting group on that back end.
Oh, they got to get the football back. We'll switch it after.
Yeah, the trade after. Of course, the balls belong to the offense, right? Love y'all back at home. That's just another day at the office. Another day at the office. My dog's right here.
I'm just trying to figure out who gets the game ball on this defense. Katsantonis, Julian Hauser, Philip Osai. Devin Verisuk's been everywhere as well. Mitchell on 2nd and 8. Hands it off. Toronto's defense does their job. Calgary, BC coming up for you as well. It's the final game here in week number 18. And the crossover now becomes the conversation for the next couple of weeks.
And a massive game for both those teams. The BC Lions heating up at exactly the right time of year. A win over Calgary a couple of weeks ago for the Lions. Calgary Stampeders looking to get that ship pointed back in the right direction as they try to hold on to second place and a home playoff date in the West Division playoff picture.
Looking forward to seeing how that one plays out. Nathan Rourke getting back on track after a struggle last Friday against the Toronto Argonauts. Surprised considering the way that things went just a few weeks before as Leo hammers that one. And we get a look at the updated playoff picture with the Tiger Cats locked in now with the score 47-29. And you see 10-6 and the head of the class in the East Division. And the Toronto Argonauts officially eliminated from the playoffs. So you can forget about the squeaking into the playoffs and going on the hot streak and finding a way to win the Grey Cup that they've been famous for over the last couple of years. A frustrating year for Ryan Dinwiddie as well. You think back to the journey of this season, right? Calling out his own players. And we said at one point, we got some pretenders in this room. I got to figure out who's an actual football guy. And it all comes down to this point where late in the year.
Definitely a different kind of season. Given Ryan Dinwiddie's tenure as the Toronto Argonauts head coach, a couple of Grey Cups, a season in which they flirted with the CFL record for wins in a season. But a lot of new faces, a lot of injuries here in 2025. And the adjustment hasn't necessarily been a smooth one all the time.
No doubt. Unfortunate, but perhaps fitting that a season was following the storyline of the quarterbacks and quarterback health. And Chad Kelly, is he coming back? When is he coming? Originally, it was week 4. It was week 7. Week 9, here we are in week 18. Chad Kelly's still standing on the sideline, and Nick Arbuckle down today as well. And you'd expect they're probably going to take a look at a couple of developmental quarterbacks over the next couple of weeks now that they are eliminated.
Well, yeah, Tucker Horn started the season as the number 2, currently the number 3 for the Toronto Argonauts. Obviously dependent a little bit on the status of Nick Arbuckle, but I think they may take the opportunity to get a look at Horn game situation.
And Jared Daggy hit once again as he gets the football complete underneath. Reggie Stubblefield comes out with the football and hands it back to the officials. It's 47 points again. Amazing to think. 51 points the first time that Toronto was here on the road. And Scott Milanovic and Bo Levi Mitchell on the Hamilton sideline, talking things through as the clock winds inside 20 seconds remaining. Crossing route, Unger, ever the competitor, gets the first down here once again.
Yeah, it remains for the Toronto Argonauts. Well, on the outside looking in at the playoff picture, there are still assessments going on with every snap for Ryan Dinwiddie and his staff.
Daggy completes this one out into the flats is Kevin Mittal with a tremendous touchdown in the 29-point offensive output. Makes another grab, and Scott Milanovic extremely ready to put the 37-point loss against Winnipeg last week behind him and behind this team. Learn their lesson the hard way. Kind of the message that we got from Milanovic and Bo Levi Mitchell, and head back to Hamilton, regroup, and get set for the Calgary Stampeders coming up next week. Flags come up. And then Daggy goes down. And the story of the afternoon, the dominant defense for the Hamilton Tiger Cats from start to finish.
Looked like a little early movement on the Tiger Cat defensive line, but ironically...
Offside, Hamilton's defensive line. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
That's not actually where the pressure came from.
Right.
It's one of those days for the Argos front.
And sweet redemption for Hamilton as well, right? They want to be able to close this down. They also wanted to shake off the terrible feeling they had in Winnipeg last week. Remember Scott Milanovic saying this week, we're all embarrassed. It doesn't matter, we're playing a rival. We just hate the way that last week played out. Felt like we never got off the plane. But a much sweeter conclusion to week 18 than there was in week 17, and an extremely frustrating day for the Toronto Argonauts, as they are officially eliminated from the 2025 CFL playoffs. Stavros Katsantonis, 3 interceptions on the day. Kenny Lawler continues to dominate against the Toronto Argonauts. And Bo Levi Mitchell loves playing on the road as he says hello to Chad Kelly on the way out. Brendan O'Leary Orange in fine form here today. But the defensive line of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, relentless pressure. That was what got it done for the black and gold. It's the Stamps and the Lions coming up tonight, right here on TSN. For Dwayne Ford, Matthew Chinetti, I'm Marshall Ferguson. Thank you so much for watching Week 18 of the Ticats and the Argos as Hamilton takes the season series 2-1.